couple plays or some nice yards, but Valle stuffed them on that third down.
4th down and 1 from the 20, and we see a penalty against St. Genevieve as they line up to punt. Looked like it was maybe a false start or a procedure penalty that's going to back them up another 5 yards, and so far St. Genevieve is definitely losing the penalty game here.
That plagued St. Genevieve last week. I don't know what the penalty totals were last week, but there was an awful lot of flags flying a game against St. Gen last week. I'm sure Coach Wyke addressed that during the week, and, it's kind of plagued them again so far tonight.
Cole Wood on this punt return. He's going to return it about 7 yards from the 45 to the 48 on the other side of the 50-yard line. Valle again going to start in St. Genevieve territory. So they've had drives of 68, 22 yards in this ball game. Both big scoring drives of the game brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. The St. Genevieve defense being tested with poor field position early in this game. It's hard enough to stop Valle, Coach, but when you get lined up with poor field position.
Yeah, you can't play in short fields against a good team like that. It just, like I said a while ago, they're very opportunistic, and you give them short fields or turnovers with a short field like that, they're going to take advantage of things, and so far that's kind of the way the game's been going.
Connor Bosler, a perfect 4 for 4 to start this game for 62 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown going to Nick Oberle, so Valle will start at the 48 of St. Genevieve. And we have a timeout right here. So this will be a good time to get you our first update from our update game of the week. Hillsboro Hawks are hosting the Fredericktown Black Cats. Let's fire that one away with Greg Armbruster.
And we have our first score from Hillsboro this evening. The Hillsboro Hawks against the Fredericktown Black Cats. The opening kickoff went to the home team, Hillsboro Hawks, and it was 10 plays, 73 yards later. And Clayton Vasali punches it in from 15 yards away. The extra point goes up and through, and the Hillsboro Hawks have an early lead over the Fredericktown Black Cats. It is 7-0. 7 minutes, 30 seconds remain in the opening quarter. We'll continue scoring updates throughout the evening across regional radio from Hillsboro and Fredericktown. Right now, Hillsboro leads 7-0.
Thank you very much, Greg. Those updates brought to you by Ellis Battery in Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse in Fredericktown, Serve Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, and Hillsboro R3 School District in Hillsboro. So what we had, Coach Stolzer, during that update, we actually had offsetting penalties during the punt, allows St. Genevieve to re-kick, and they get the better end of it because now the ball's at the 39 on Valle's side.
Worked in St. Genevieve's favor on that one there. Lamander's punt, he got a good bounce and roll out of it, took it down to Valle's 39. Well, they'll start out instead of being in St. Gen territory. So hopefully St. Genevieve is going to have to make a statement here and put a stop to things. Otherwise, Valle continues to roll. It's going to be 21-0 here in the first quarter, and that's going to make things awful tough on the St. Genevieve side of the ball.
We're brought to you tonight by Meyer Shoe Store in St. Genevieve, Farmers Mutual Insurance of St. Genevieve, St. Gen Golf Club, Lort Custom Cabinets, JW Buildings, M&L Electric in St. Genevieve, and Mueller's Tire and Auto, and all in St. Genevieve. So Valle Catholic on their third possession. They've had 2 scoring drives already. They lead 14-0 over the home team, St. Gen Dragons. Valle trying to get the third win in a row over St. Gen, and overall their 32nd straight win dating back to the last 2 state championship runs when they went undefeated on the way to the Dome. Connor Bosler back in the shotgun with an empty backfield, drops back, pumps, then throws right, deep down the right sideline, has a man wide open, he's going to haul it in, it's Cole Wood at the 20, made a man miss, and he's going to high step to the end zone. A shimmy shake move and a touchdown pass, and it's going to go 61 yards. He was wide open. Just doubled up his passing totals in one play. Finds Cole Wood for the strike. Cole Wood's first touchdown grab. He had a touchdown in last year's state championship. 20-0 Valle Catholic Warriors on top of St. Gen with 6:39 on the clock. Blown assignment there on defense?
Valle's executing just click, click, click right now, like fine oil machine, and things are working real well to their kids.
Now Coots for the extra point. It's a high snap, but Coots was able to nail this one through the uprights. 21-0, 61-yard touchdown pass, and that will be a scoring drive in this game. Brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. A 1-play drive for Valle Catholic. 21-0 Warriors, 6:39 remaining still in the first quarter. Back in 1 minute on the boot.
Farmers Mutual Insurance Company in St. Genevieve has been serving families in the area for over 115 years. Whether you need insurance on your home, mobile home, farm, or where you rent, Farmers Mutual Insurance Company can help. That's Farmers Mutual Insurance Company on St. Genevieve Drive in St. Genevieve. Call for a competitive quote at 883-3520. That's 883-3520. Farmers Mutual Insurance Company in St. Genevieve, a hometown company with hometown values.
The Fredericktown Black Cats quickly respond after falling down 7-0 early against the Hillsboro Hawks. A great return from Matthew Williams set the Fredericktown Black Cats up on their own 48-yard line, but it came down to a Cody Smith 29-yard pass to Zach Keller that set up a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Brock O'Neill. The extra point just going up and through. It was only 3.5 minutes for Fredericktown to get back on the board and even things up. We are tied at 7 with 3:53 to go in the opening quarter. Hillsboro set to receive this next kickoff. Updates will continue from Fredericktown and Hillsboro throughout the evening. We're currently tied at 7-all.
Thank you, Greg Armbruster. St. Genevieve has a good kick return here. We see more flags on the field, and this time I believe it's going against Valle Catholic. They're backing up against the Valle Catholic Warriors, so they returned it to the 31, 15-yard penalty all the way up to the 46-yard line, a personal foul against Valle. St. Gen starts with their best starting field position. Two backs in the backfield. They'll be lined up, split behind Wyatt Lamander. There's the snap. They'll fake to the fullback, hand off to the deep back, and the ball will be carried to the 50-yard line for a pickup of about 4 yards.
Like a little belly play, fake the first back through and give to the second back a little bit wider. Picked up about 5 on that. Again, St. Gen comes out on their offensive series, trying to pound it at them right up the middle.
Anthony Rowe again on the carry. He's been the most successful back so far, but he's only had 3 carries, and Austin Brewer's had 1 carry. St. John's offense just hasn't been on the field. Split backs and 1 receiver out to the right. There's the snap. They'll pitch it this time. Comes out to the right side. Nice cut back by Brewer. Spins off a tackle and gets to the 45, make it the 42 on the other side of the field. Nice run by Brewer. And, Coach, he started out 4th string last year, and it made himself a star running back, got over 1,000 yards.
Well, after Rowe went down, it got to be kind of trying to find someone to replace him, and Brewer just got better each game as the year went on, and, really finished up the season well. He went over 1,000 yards rushing for us last year.
8-yard pickup for Austin Brewer. They remain in the split back set with 1 receiver out to the right side, and the handoff to the fullback. This is Anthony Rowe, and Rowe's going to push the pile across the 40 to the 39, the 3-yard pickup by Anthony. Explain the difference between the two backs, Rowe and Brewer, Coach.
Yeah, they're both good. Brewer's not quite as big as Rowe, but he's probably every bit as strong, very strong in the weight room. Both real tough kids. Both have real good speed. There's not a lot of difference other than size-wise. 2nd down and 8. They'll place the ball at the 40. So that was a 2-yard pickup on the last play. There's the snap, and they'll hand it off again. This is going to go up the middle. A nice run up the middle, and he's not going to go down easy. Austin Brewer doing a little bit of Anthony Rowe impersonating right there up to the 29-yard line. Austin's tough. Both he and Rowe are real tough kids, and Brewer showed some of that on that run right there. He could have went down in first contact, but he fought for a few more yards. 11 yards on the carry. St. Genevieve finally getting some traction going. They put themselves in a hole. Valley 21, St. Genevieve nothing, but the Dragons have started something. 5:05 left to play, first quarter, down 3 scores. St. Genevieve with the ball at exactly the 30-yard line. Split backs, and they'll do the belly play again. They'll hand it off to the deep back, and they'll go to, I believe it was Brewer this time, cutting back opposite side of the field. We also have a flag on the play. A hold against St. Genevieve. Another penalty against the St. Gen Dragons. That's going to be their 4th now for 30 yards on the night tonight. That's going to make a first down and probably around 20, something of that nature. The ball will be put back at the 40-yard line. The penalties, just to tell you, you're playing against a tough Valley team, and when you penalize yourself and put yourself back, it just makes it double tough on you. So now with the ball back at the 40-yard line on 1st down and 20, St. Genevieve is going to hand it off to the left side. And then Wyatt Lamander turned into a lead blocker as he gives off to Rowe. Rowe fires up the sideline all the way inside the 15-yard line. What a pickup, a run of 25 yards. He'll sweep out the corner there. Rowe showed he's got some pretty decent speed of his own there. 5 carries, 40 yards. I liked how Lamander kind of peeled off right there and led him up the sideline. Yeah. Nice play. Wyatt's not afraid to stick his nose in there either.
First down and 10, the ball will be placed at the 14, so that's what you need to do after you pick up a penalty. Okay, let's go back to work, pick up that first down, and they quickly overcame that with 4:41 to go in the first quarter. Brewster's going to line up wide to the right side, split backs behind Wyatt Lamander as he scans the defense. Valle lined up, showing maybe they're going to bring some pressure here. Here's the snap and handoff to Austin Brewer. 6-1 tackle, cuts to the right side. He's going to scoot in. Touchdown, Brewer, the 14-yard run. The Dragons are on the board in the Old Settlement Series tonight. Austin Brewer and Anthony Rowe really got involved on that drive, Coach. If you're a Dragon fan, you love to see that.
Well, that's what they needed to do, Glenn. It's just they needed to get something positive going. Everything's been negative so far in the game for St. Genevieve, and, this will put a lot of momentum in their sails, and, for them to be successful or whatever, make this a much better ball game. St. Jen's going to have to answer with some defensive play as well.
Good field position to start that drive. Another good scoring drive brought to you by Auto Plaza, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. It was a 54-yard drive, and Brewer able to cap it off. Now the extra point is good. A low-line drive makes it 21-7. Valley Catholic with the lead, but St. Genevieve showing life. 4:34 remaining in the first. We're back in a minute on the boot.
Everybody's going home, pool and spa.
Do you have a pool in your backyard? We can help. Hi, I'm Jason DeClue, owner of Home Pools and Spas in Leadington. A family pool is a wonderful investment. We can help you get your water balanced and all your maintenance needs. There is no place like home. That's Home Pools and Spas on the Outer Service Road south of the Leadington exit.
Home is where the fun is. Everybody's going. Home is where the fun is. Everybody's going. Pool and spa.
Viox to return this kick. He got a nice crease up the near sideline, returns it across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Valle again starts with great field position. Valle hasn't been stopped yet. St. Genevieve's offense starting to get rolling a little bit, but now their defense is going to have to step up. But again, not putting themselves in good positions on the defensive side of the ball. Valle loaded with a lot of good athletes. It's amazing how many good athletes are just in this town, though, Coach. Both of these programs put out amazing talent.
There's always been talk year in, year out. What kind of team would it have if we combined the two schools? But on the downfall side of things, it'd be a lot less kids getting to start and play a lot of football. So,
snap, Connor Bosler, pump fake, then rolls to the left side. He's going to tuck it and run. Nice pickup to the 50-yard line. They'll spot him out of bounds at the St. Genevieve 49. That's an 8-yard pickup by Bosler. That's something he doesn't have to do a whole lot of, is run with it. But when he needs to, he can take off.
He's a very, very good athlete and a very dangerous football player. He'll keep it from time to time, but if he's pushed out of the pocket, he's going to pick up some yards usually.
Call that a 6-yard pickup to give him 10 yards on 2 carries here tonight. 2nd down and 4. Shotgun snap to Bosler. Time to throw. Throws over the middle. And what a pass and what a catch made. And he's taken off. He's gone. Nick Overly. It's going to be a 49-yard touchdown pass. What a grab. There is laundry on the field, however. St. Genevieve clapping like that could be against Valle.
Yep,
Nick Overly just made an amazing catch, but it may not count. Because that coverage was there. The defender fell down after the catch was made.
That was a Saturday afternoon. I don't know if the defender really fell down or not. I think that Valle's kid just kind of took the ball and pulled away from him.
That's what I was after he pulled it away. That's when the defender fell down. But it's coming back. It's not going to count. So take the touchdown off the board. They'll back Valle Catholic up to the 41-yard line.
That was an outstanding pass and a catch. Well-executed play.
They rule holding there against Valle?
Yes.
First down and 13. 2nd down and 13, and Valle gets backed up. See if they can overcome it. Twins to the right. Shotgun snap. Bosler throws the quick curl out to the right side this time, and a catch and one move, and he's up the field. Nick Overly to the 50-yard line. Got a lot of that yardage back, right back to where they were in the previous play. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards.
Valle's kids execute with just so much confidence. Just like they really believe in themselves that they're going to get it done, and they make the execution happen.
3rd down. call it 3 with the ball at the 50-yard line. Connor Bosler still perfect on the night, 6 for 6. He's even had a touchdown taken off the board. One receiver, make it 2 receivers right, twins to the left. An empty backfield for Connor Bosler. They'll line up trips to the left, it looks like. And then timeout's going to be called. So we have a timeout brought to you by Culligan Water of Leadington. We'll take a break right along with them. 3:31 remaining. A big third down for Valle on the other side of the break. 3rd down and 3. Valle 21. St. Genevieve 7. Back in 30 seconds on the boot.
Need a new metal roof, a pole barn? JW Buildings in St. Genevieve is a full-line metal installer and distributor. Residential roofing, barn sheds, call JW Buildings. With over 15 years experience and direct buying power, you save the most money with JW Buildings. JW Buildings also offers lumber packages and free quotes on everything. They are installing metal and shingle roofing on business and residential. That's JW Buildings, quality, affordable, and portable, all in one stop. JW Buildings, off Highway 32 on Highway B in St. Genevieve.
This is Bob Stolzer, head football coach, St. Genevieve Dragons, and you're listening to Dragon Football on J98.
I guess we got to update that and say the former coach of the St. John Dragons, right? Bob Stolzer recorded that for us years ago, and we apparently still got it. We dusted that one off. Valle Catholic and St. Genevieve locked in a 21-7 battle right now. Valle with the ball at midfield, ball at the 50. Twins to the right, and trips out to the left. Empty backfield for Connor Bosler. Boy, has he been on fire. He'll throw it out to the left side, has a catch again, and it's a first down right at the sticks. Move the chains for Valle Catholic. Tristan Rollhouse on the catch that time. Connor Bosler knows where those chains are, doesn't he?
Yeah, just running little curls, hit the open area in the zone, and the receiver stops, and the quarterback puts it on the money, and the kids make a good catch and pick up another first down.
5-yard pickup. Rollhouse with his first catch of the game. First down and 10 at the St. Genevieve 45-yard line. Valle trying to answer St. Gen's scoring drive. Man in motion from left to right. They fake to him. Bosler keeps it, running up the middle, picks up a handful. He'll be brought down by Morgan Shank and company after a pickup of 3 to 4. Numbers so far, Tristan Hook, 20 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown. Connor Bosler, 13 yards on 3 carries, but passing the ball a perfect 7 for 7 for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. His main target being Nick Oberle tonight, 4 catches, 52 yards. 2nd down and 7. Ball at the 42 of St. Gen. Shotgun snap, Bosler throws right side, throws behind his man. He had him wide open. The first time we've seen Bosler misfire on the night, because that could have been a touchdown had he let him.
Just a little bit behind him. He's kind of looking at his stats prior to the ball game. He's kind of picked up where he left off last week. Last week he was 12 out of 14, and of course that was his first incompletion tonight.
Looking for Chris Loida on the play on the right side of the formation. Misfires that time, just 3 incompletions on the season so far for the Dream Team quarterback out of Valle Catholic. Twins right, trips left, empty backfield for Connor. 3rd down and 7, a big play in this game. Shotgun snap, throws out right side, catch made. He'll turn around, Nick Oberle, and a big pop on the end of it by Austin Brewer. But it's not going to matter. First down on another 15-yard pickup or so to the 27.
Another stop. The receiver, like I said, hits the open area in the zone, and quarterback does a good job getting the ball.
15 yards on that catch. 67 yards passing, or receiving by Nick Oberle. Bosler going to pump and throw it out to the right side, and is going to sail out of bounds looking for Cole Wood that time. 155 yards passing for Bosler on 8 of 10 on the evening. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 27-yard line. We have an update from Greg Armbruster. We'll get to that after this drive, however, as there's a lot of scoring apparently in that Fredericktown-Hillsboro game up the road in Hillsboro tonight, and that is our J98 update game this evening. When we get some time, we'll also check the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard at MyMoInfo.com, but you can do that anytime at MyMoInfo.com. St. John nearly comes across the line on defense, snap and a throw out to the left side. Miscommunication. Dragons nearly had a turnover. Incomplete.
Yeah, Reinhardt almost got interception.
I remember Reinhardt returning an interception for a touchdown in last year's game.
Yes, yep, that was our lone score against them last year.
That'll make it 3rd down and 10 from the 27, but Valle Catholic has been able to convert on all of their 3rd downs tonight. Defense. Bosler and the Valley Warriors will continue to go empty sets. One receiver left, the others out to the right side. Bosler takes the snap. He's going to run to the left. He's got a convoy out in front. St. John trying to close it down. They won't do it. It opens up, and he's going to trot in for the touchdown.
Quarterback sweep, pulled both guards, and again to the left side.
27-yard scamper, and it just looked really easy. Bosler takes it in for the rushing score and it's now 27-7 Valle Catholic. You were telling me during the break, Valle looks really sharp tonight.
Yeah, they do. They just execute very well, and like I said, their kids just seem to have that complete air of confidence about themselves in what they're doing, and, they're really making things click right now.
So now the extra point will be knocked through by Coots, or at least attempted by Coots after that 27-yard touchdown run by Connor Bosler. Coots is going to get it blocked. Coming in is Reinhardt to make the play. So the special team stands up, and the score 27-7 with 2:18. We're still in the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a long night. We're break for 1 minute on J98 The Boot.
Hi, this is Brad Smith at Lucas Smith Chrysler Center. Lucas Smith Chrysler is more than just your local Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep dealer. We sell and service to the entire Jefferson County area. So while you're listening to this sports broadcast, no matter if it's the Tigers, the Hornets, the Blue Jays, the Lancers, the Dragons, or the Hawks, remember, we are and we support the entire Jefferson County area and its sports teams. We are Lucas Smith Chrysler Center off Highway A in Festus, your home of the No Bull deal.
Home of the No Bull deal. Lucas Smith Chrysler. No Bull.
Building a new home or office, maybe it's time to do some remodeling. Call Lurk.
Game brought to you by Midwest Sports Center. It's a candidate for the big one. Now under center. Lamander takes a snap. He'll hand it off. A big hit. Anthony Rowe. They'll fight off of it. 35-yard line. That's not going to go down as a big run, but he took a big hit and just shook it off.
It bounced off, kept going a little counter play to the left side. And
42 yards on 6 carries for Anthony Rowe tonight. 2nd down and 8 as we're down to the final minute of this first quarter. 40 seconds remaining. And when we go to the quarter break, we have an update lined up from Greg Armbruster. We'll get to you from that Hillsboro-Fredericktown game. I think we're actually going to owe you a couple of those updates coming up from Fredericktown-Hillsboro. Under center, Lamander takes that snap and hands it off to the second man through. This time it's Brewer. Brewer with some good running right up the middle, across the 35 to about the 37, 38-yard line.
Continue to pound the ball right at him and pick up a few yards. Bring up about a, 3rd and 5 for St. Jim.
3rd and a long 5, and they may not even try to get another play off before the end of this first quarter. As we're down to the final seconds, both teams will come off the field. 27-7 Valle at the end of one. And right now, rather than going to a break, let's go ahead and see what's happening in that Hillsboro-Fredericktown for the J98 update game with Greg Armbruster.
After forcing a takeaway towards the end of the first quarter and starting a drive on their own 42-yard line, the Fredericktown Black Cats go 58 yards, all finalized by a Matt Williams short touchdown run, and the extra point just going up and through. And the Fredericktown Black Cats take the 14-7 lead with 8 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first half. It was a big drive by Cody Smith, up to 4 completions and 62 yards, and he's leading the way for the Fredericktown Black Cats, who are over the Hillsboro Hawks 14-7 with just under 9 minutes to go in our opening half.
Thank you very much, Greg Armbruster. And I understand there's been another score in that game, so I think he's standing by for one more update. Let's see if we can go out and get what's happening in Fredericktown, Hillsboro.
And just like that, 14 seconds and 93 yards later, this game is now tied at 14 all. Thanks to number 28, Michael Keller of the Hillsboro Hawks taking a kick all the way back into the end zone. Hillsboro decided to go for 2 after the touchdown, unable to convert. They now trail by 1. This game is 14-13 with the Fredericktown Black Cats leading the Hillsboro Hawks. 8:32 still to go in the opening half.
Sounds like a great game in Hillsboro tonight. Again, those updates are brought to you tonight by Ellis Battery in Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse in Fredericktown, Serve Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, and Hillsboro R3 School District of Hillsboro. So Fredericktown trying to bounce back from a tough loss against Kennett last week and against a good Hillsboro team to be winning 14-13. I'd say so far they are bouncing back. St. John Dragons and Valle Catholic Warriors is the J98 game of the week, and it's also on web TV tonight at MyMoInfo.com. We played one quarter, 27-7, Valle Catholic with the lead. Dragons on offense. Just had a big first down pickup on a nice catch by Giesler. A couple plays later, we're set up with 3rd down and 5. Dragons now work right to left if you're looking on J98 Web TV. Dragons needing to convert. A low shotgun snap. Lamander rolls to his right. He's got some pressure on him. He's going to throw it deep down the right sideline and out of bounds.
That one was nearly picked off too, Glenn. Looks like he got another flag. Probably going to be a holding penalty on St. Genevieve the way we look. Yeah, officials signaling holding against St. Genevieve. And I don't know if Valley's going to accept that and back them up or probably decline it and make St. Gen punt.
Yeah, of course, if you decline, you got that 4th down and 5. You got the option, though, to back them up deep in their own territory.
Yeah,
but
they're going to decline. They're going to get their hands back in the ball. And
no doubt about that. So Valle Catholic Warriors back on offense. Again, they have not been stopped tonight. The only time they've really been thwarted on anything was their last extra point, which it was Reinhardt who got a hand up there to block it. So St. Genevieve sends the punting unit out. Valle Catholic's going to send Nick Oberle back to return. Oberle's had himself a good night. He'll wait for the football back at the 28. There's the snap, and Lamander gets a low-line drive off. Nearly got it blocked, but Oberle's going to watch it bounce back to the 20 and takes a St. Gen roll to the 10, all the way down to the 5, inside the 5 to the 4. It's going to keep on rolling towards the 3. Lamander, I thought it was going to get blocked. Ends up being a great punt. Valley's going to be backed up.
Valley's back, thought it was going to try and pick it up, then the ball took a little different bounce, and he got away from it. And like I said, St. Gen got good roll out of the ball inside the 5-yard line. So St. Jen's finally got some good field positioning at Valley here, but, they're still going to have to stop them.
At the 2-yard line, you know as well as anybody, Valley can cover a lot of ground no matter where they start a drive, right?
Yep.
11:40 remaining in the second quarter. Check out the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard at MyMoInfo.com. You do that, and you'll realize that Farmington's beating North County tonight on KREI 7-0. Crystal City over Kelly 14-6. It is Central and Jefferson. Last check of that one was a scoreless tie in the first, but we may be getting late updates there. First down and 10 from Valley's 2-yard line. They'll hand it off up the middle, and they haven't ran the ball a whole lot tonight, but a good push and a pickup of about 8 yards. Now 7 yards to the 9-yard line.
It's like Campbell in on the tackle that time. Valley running right up the middle.
And they gave that one to Chris Loida for the 7-yard pickup, and now Tristan Hook is back in there. They'll call it 2nd down and 4 from the 8 with 11:17 remaining in this first half. Twins to the right, twins to the left, one back in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Bosler takes it and then runs to the left side on the little zone read. Has room. First down. He's up the sideline with more. To the 30, to the 40. He'll be ridden out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 35-yard pickup by Connor Bosler running left.
Perimeter did a good job getting the sideline and running him down and stopped him from going the distance on the play there. But, again, balls are showing that great athleticism.
Gabe Grimminger on the tackle, like you said. They spotted him out of bounds at the 45-yard line, still on Valley's side of the field. But keep in mind, this drive started at the 2. Valley hurries back up. Shotgun snap, handoff, and a crown collision of the game right there. St. John gets in the backfield and blows it up with Morgan Shank making the tackle of his life. He'll remember that one for a long time.
Morgan's really gotten stronger through the winter. Real hard worker, good athlete for lineman, and he made an outstanding play there.
Tristan Hook is not easy to bring down. He's got that low center of gravity. He's like a bowling ball, but Morgan Shank got a little bit lower and met him in the backfield for that big pop, a 3-yard loss, and a crown collision, center collision of the game. 2nd down and 13 from the 42. Bosler brings his team back to the line. They'll go empty. Twins right, trips left. Shotgun snap. Bosler drops back, throws quickly out to the right side, has Oberle again, sidesteps one man, and then gets undercut at the 49-yard line for a pickup of 7. There you go. It's going to set you up another 3rd down. St. John hasn't stopped Valley on 3rd down tonight.
Again, the little curl or stop in the hole in the zone there. Brewster made a good stop after the catch, but, it's tough.
And it's been all Oberle, 7 or 6 catches for 74 yards on the game. 3rd down and 5. They'll load the trips to the near side this time, empty backfield. Throw out to the left side, and there's that same route. Oberle makes the catch right at the 1st down marker. Did he hold on to it?
I don't think he did.
Incomplete.
No, incomplete.
We'll see a 4th down, but right at midfield, does Valley think about going for it?
Success they've been having and the way the score is, I would say I'll take a chance defensively what they've been doing. If they're going to go for it, St. John better
be
maybe
ready,
trying to draw them off.
That ball got on Oberle in a hurry on that last play, and he could not make a catch on it. Valley hurries to the line, and then they wait. So it looked like maybe they were trying to draw St. Genevieve off. Now they'll wait for the play call to come in. Connor Bosler will take the snap, and they're going for it on 4th down. Pump and go down the left sideline. He has a man wide open. The catch is made at the 20. Kiss him goodbye. It's a 50-yard touchdown pass, and Valley extends the lead. Nick Oberle again. He's having himself a night.
Man, oh, man.
124 yards receiving on 7 catches. Connor Bosler's 3rd touchdown pass. 4th and 5, the all pump and go. Trick the St. John Dragons.
Well, they got the St. John to bite on the 1st down area and those little stop and goes that they've been hitting all night long and did the pump and go. And, again, well-executed play, Glenn.
That is a 98-yard scoring drive, and although they missed their first 3rd down of the game, they convert on 4th down, and they get a 50-yard touchdown pass. 33-7. Valley's going to go ahead and kick. Here's Coots for the extra point. Flag flies, and the kick looked up and good.
St. John might have been offside. Looked like Reinhardt might have been offsides on that.
Yeah, he got through there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He almost had to have been offsides, but he blocked the last one. He came close to blocking that one, but again, he left early.
And Coachman on that.
Yep, Reinhardt gets penalized there. The Valley's going to line up and do it again with 9:45 left to go. Well, Valley has had now 5 scoring drives. They've scored on every chance, which reminded me of the West Grand game from last year, in which Valley, I believe, scored every time they touched the ball in that game. They might have had one possession the entire game that they didn't score on. Coots will try it again. There's the snap. There's the hold. The kick is banged right down the middle. 34-7 Valley. 9:45 remaining in the first half. Back in a minute on Kicking Country. J98 The Boot.
We've got Bill Seeley with us, the owner of Precision Equipment Company on Highway 67 in Farmington. And Bill, when it comes to buying a mower, that tag, American made, that still means something to a lot of people.
It means a lot, Mark. These Skag mowers are made in America, 100% American made. They're built to last. There is good quality equipment out there. There is equipment out there you can get on. It's going to get your mowing done. It's not going to nickel and dime you, and it's going to last you. We've got it, 0 down, 0% for 54 months, and you can have it too.
And best of all, you can test drive it before you buy it.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 2. Come on in, test drive it, 7-day money-back guarantee on all Skags, and you're mowing.
What's your phone number, Bill?
573-760-0777.
The home of the Skaggs E-Turn mower is Precision Equipment Company. They're on Highway 67 in Farmington.
Valley 34, St. John 7 with 9:45 remaining in this first half on J98 The Boot and J98 Web TV. For the J98 Game of the Week, kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback from Coots. That last scoring drive for Valley, 98 yards. And it's brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Check on inventory and prices at autoplazaford.com. St. John offense back to work. They've had one pretty good-looking drive. They were able to pound the ball on the ground and won the battle in the trenches on that one drive, but now they're going to a spread look, trying to play catch-up. One receiver right and twins to the left and a single back in the backfield. Low snap to Lamander. He drops back. Pressure comes on him. He's going to run to the right side, and he can do this all day long. He found the edge, and he's up to the 40-yard line, ran out of bounds across the 50. We'll see where they officially mark him, but that's one thing Lamander brings to the game, Coach Stolzer. He can really run with that ball.
Yeah, he's very quick. Saw that out of him as a freshman. If he can get to the corner and get a block here or there, he's got some wheels on him, outstanding quickness, and that'll force things to open up a little bit in the passing game if they get to start honoring his speed in the corner on his sprint outs.
Call that a 26-yard pickup as the ball's marked out of bounds at the 46, still on St. John's side of the field. We get a whistle and likely a timeout. These timeouts brought to you by Culligan Water in Leadington. Valley Catholic, and a whistle for this one with 9:36 remaining in the half. We'll take another break and pay some bills. 34-7 Valley over St. John. St. John trying to change that when we come back in 30 seconds on the boot.
Hi, Tracy Wicking here, and I'd like you to meet our nurse practitioner at Hickory Plaza Comprehensive Health Center in Hillsboro, Ashley McGrath. Ashley, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a graduate of the Barnes Goldfarb School of Nursing. I previously worked for Tenet Hospital in Des Peres, and I did my externship here at the Hickory Plaza Comprehensive Health Center in Hillsboro. I can see individual and families from 13 on up. Call me at 636-481-6040. I'd love to help you be the healthiest person you can be.
Hickory Plaza Comprehensive Health Center. We want to be your healthcare home.
Well, this game I figured would be a little bit closer in this first half, but Valley has come out and showed dominance, up 34-7, 9:36 remaining in the half. Not to say, though, that the game's over by any means. The St. Genevieve Dragons have the ball in a pretty good spot in the field at their own 46-yard line, but what do they need to do to turn it around? I think most of that's going to come on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they got to stop Valley defensively. And, offensively, they moved the ball. The last time they had their hands on it, they scored, and right now they picked up a big run for a first down. So, execute offensively and keep the ball out of their defense.
Shotguns.
Keep the defense off field. Oh, no.
Shotgun snapped to Lamander, and he nearly threw a pick. It was batted at the line of scrimmage, and then Oberle almost came up with a diving interception at the 45, but it falls harmlessly to the turf. Lamander actually had time that time, but one of those Valley linemen, if you can't get to the quarterback, get those arms up, right?
Yeah, very impressed with Valley on both sides of the ball right now. Like I said, confidence, hustle, they make things happen. It's not so much what St. John is doing or not doing. It's just, what Valley's doing their side of the ball on offense and defense.
Lamander 1 for 3 passing with 20 yards. Ball at the 46, second down and 10. Another shotgun snap to Lamander. He's going to run up the middle, brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And 27 for Valley Catholic in there to undercut him, and that was Colin Okenfoos on the play. In fact, it was about a loss of a half of a yard. Lamander 2 carries for 26 yards on the night. We have another update from the Fredericktown-Hillsboro game we'll get to as soon as there's a break in action. With 9 minutes remaining in the half, 3rd down and 10, St. Genevieve needing to convert. With twins right, twins left, one back in the backfield. Lamander takes the shotgun snap, has time, steps up, throws left. Oh, he missed the catch. It was Brewster, the sophomore, who almost went up there and grabbed it. It was a high throw, and Brewster did all he could to try to bring it down for his quarterback. Pretty good ball, but airmailed it a little bit. That'll make it 4th down and a long 10 after that 26-yard run by Lamander. St. John goes 3 and out and will end up likely punting here in this situation. Maybe not, though. Lamander is the quarterback, and he's also the punter. Does that give you any kind of advantage when your quarterback's also your punter?
I think so. Whenever I was coaching and you're playing against somebody whose punter was a quarterback, you've always got that, that fake, good possibility of fake, so it really keeps you honest.
Looks like they will go for it. 4th down and 10. Lamander throws out to the right side. Sideline right route. Did he tap his toes in?
I think
yes.
He was out of bounds.
Reinhardt hauled it in, but out of bounds.
Yeah.
Turnover on down. Boy, that was a good effort by Reinhardt on the sideline.
Yeah.
And Lamander got it there, but it's not going to count. Turnover on downs. Lamander over for his last 4 now on the night. Valle Catholic's going to start in St. John territory once again. Ball at St. Genevieve's 46. Broadcast tonight coming your way courtesy of Dwayne Doza Auto Body in St. Genevieve, Creative Touch, MFA, Marzuco Electric, all of St. Genevieve, Innovative Warehousing and Distribution in Farmington. And Valle comes back to the line with their offense and a 1st down and 10 with 8 minutes, 45 seconds to go. A snap and a handoff. It goes to Loida coming around from the left side, and he gets stood up. He maybe picks up a yard on the play, but St. Genevieve doing a good job.
Valle had a lot of kids out in front of the ball carrier that time, but St. John did a good job of stringing things out.
Dalton Campbell leading the charge on the tackle. That was a yard pickup on the play by Loida, the sophomore. A couple of carries in this game tonight. He and Tristan Hook have carried the load. Connor Bosler has more yards than anybody, though. 2nd down and 9 at the 45. Back of the line quickly. Tristan Hook is now the back with twins to the left. 3 receivers. Make it 2 receivers out to the right. Bosler exchanges words with Tristan Hook in the backfield. Takes the snap, fakes it to Hook, runs to the left side. Oh, bounced outside. Now he's looking for an edge, and he won't quite get the edge, but he'll carry Anthony Rowe to the 40-yard line. Good hard-nosed running for a 5-yard pickup by the Valle QB.
It was a tough 5 yards by Dawson there. St. John did a pretty good job stringing things out, but Balzer still made a positive play out of it.
3rd down and 4 to go. Valle's converted on all but 1 3rd down in this game, and even on that, they converted on the 4th down for a touchdown. Ball at St. Genevieve's 40-yard line. Trips right. 1 receiver alone to the left side. Tristan Hook is the lone back as Connor Bosler awaits the call in from Coach Nagger on the sideline. We're on Valle's side as we look on. Shotgun snap is bobbled. Bosler picks it up, throws left. One-on-one coverage out there, and a beautiful catch. And he's going to tiptoe the sideline and bring it into the end zone for a 40-yard touchdown pass. It was Tristan Rollhouse, and Connor Bosler threads the needle.
I'll tell you, Reinhardt was right in the kid's hip pocket. The Rollhouse kid just made an outstanding catch and run after he caught the ball. And again, another well-thrown ball by Balzer. It's just execution at its best.
45 yards on the touchdown pass to Tristan Rollhouse. Connor Bosler now has 9 touchdown passes on the year. He had 5 last week against St. Vincent. 4 so far in the first half of this one against St. Genevieve. 40-7 Valle with 7:14 remaining. And you're not kidding, Coach. Reinhardt's a very good defensive back, and he was right there.
Yeah.
That pass couldn't have been any better.
You can't defend any better than what he was. It just, again, execution.
46-yard scoring drive that time for Valle Catholic. Now Coots for the extra point. He's had plenty of practice at these tonight. Kick is up. Kick is good. 41-7. Valle still 7:14 remaining in the second. We'll take a 30-second timeout on J98.
TG Missouri is proud to be a part of the community and is committed to being a good corporate citizen and partner in the Perryville community. TG Missouri encourages young athletes to strive for the best. These young athletes and coaches work hard, and their determination is commended. This message brought to you by your friends at TG Missouri in Perryville. Proud to support our young athletes and coaches.
In a very wild set of events, the Hillsboro Hawks have gained the lead. They're now up 21-14. After having their offense not be able to convert on a first down, they were forced to punt. Isaiah Martin recovered a fumble, and Hillsboro was able to start on the 24-yard line of the Fredericktown Blackcats. One play, 5 seconds later, again, Isaiah Martin comes up with a 24-yard touchdown reception for Sam Mott. clock. Hillsboro opts to go for two. They now lead this game 21-14 with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the first half.
Those updates from Greg Armbruster in Hillsboro are brought to you tonight by Ellis Battery of Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse in Fredericktown, Surf Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, and Hillsboro R3 School District in Hillsboro. That game is a barn burner. This one is turning into a blowout. Valle on top of St. John, 41-7 with 7:14 to go. Valle looking for their 32nd straight win and third straight over the St. John Dragons, and they're doing it with just an unstoppable offense right now.
Very impressive, Glenn. It's just like I said, on both sides of the ball. Special teams, I mean, I haven't seen any weaknesses or flaws or anything that, looks bad on the Valle side of the ball. Like I said, it's not so much what St. John is doing or not doing. It's just Valle is executing very well and playing very well on both sides of the ball.
Another scoring drive brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. The last one, a 46-yard drive, capped off by the 40-yard touchdown pass to Roll House by Valle Catholic. Here's the kick, and a bouncer picked up by St. Genevieve. Up the sideline he goes, and the Dragons can't quite return it all the way. They get knocked out of bounds just short of the 50. Was it Reinhardt?
Reinhardt, yes. It was Reinhardt in the return.
He almost broke it.
Nearly got by. I thought he was there for a minute, but I guess it was probably the kicker, whoever was safety for Valle back, was able to get a little shove and get him out of bounds enough to stop the ball right there.
Looks like he stepped on the sideline right around the 40-yard line. And we get a timeout. Valle is taking a knee. That would signify maybe there's an injury.
One of Valle's players is down over the St. John sideline.
So we'll take a timeout to let them tend to that specific player. We'll let you know, though, that our score 41-7 Valle with 7:08 remaining in this first half. And it looks like that Valle player has popped up, so we may not take a break after all. I believe that was Brennan Samples of Valle, but he's up and ready to come off the field. So I see Brennan Samples walking over there. Maybe another player they're looking at over there.
Looks like 55, Peterson. My eyes don't deceive me, Glenn.
55 would be Robert Peterson, if that is the case. It is, and he's going to come off the field under his own power. So there's a couple of white jerseys over there on that far sideline. Samples came out unscathed, and then Peterson's going to hobble off the field a little bit slower. Brought to you tonight by the fine folks at St. Genevieve Vision Care, St. Genevieve Care Center, Red Roof Grooming and Boarding in Bloomsdale, Kelly Fowlert with Realty Executive 5-Star Homes in St. John. Now a good return by Reinhardt out to the 43-yard line. Puts the Dragons in pretty good starting field position here, but they've only been able to score on one drive tonight. It was a nice Austin Brewer touchdown run, but that seems like ages ago. Valle's been scoring at will. St. John again spreads it out. They'll run with trips left, one lone receiver, far side of the field. One back, flanking Lamander to his left. A snap and a fake handoff, little zone read play, but Valle read it, and Lamander dropped in the backfield.
Lamander had to pull the ball because there's somebody right on Brewer, and then as soon as Lamander pulled it to turn upfield, there was somebody on him.
It'll be a loss of a yard on the play, and 2nd down and 11. Well, since St. John coach has gone to the spread, it seems like the offense has been in neutral. Do you consider going back to split backs even though you're down by so much?
Well, I tell you, it's a tough call. You're down by that many scores. You want a chance in the ball game, you're going to have to do something, make something happen in a hurry.
Lamander losing a yard in that last play. 3 carries, 25 yards. Now he's passing, rolling to the left side, tucks it, and he's going to scramble far side, makes a man miss in the backfield, but he's still got a lot of room to cover. Throws out to the right, throws incomplete, looking for Reinhardt. Good job just to avoid a sack on the play.
Yeah, get rid of the ball. He's very elusive in the backfield. But again, Valle doing a good job in their coverage.
Colin Okenfoos breathing down his neck, and Colin's got some size to him, 6'4", 205 pounds. He's your prototype defensive end. He's been lurking in the backfield all night long for Valle. 2nd down and 11 at the St. Genevieve 42. And a drive St. Genevieve must score on if they want to have any chance of coming back in this game in the second half. There's also been a penalty on the play, and it's going to go against St. John as well. So things go from bad to worse. Looks to be of the 5-yard variety. St. John gets backed up to the 37. Dragons 6 penalty for 40 yards tonight. That'll make a 2nd down and 11, a 2nd down and 16. One lone receiver to the right. Low snap. Lamander drops back to pass, has some space, then runs out of space. Man. Cuts up the middle, then throws from the right side of the field down the right sideline, incomplete.
Another flag down, Glenn. Looks like it's probably an area of holding.
Initially, he had time. That may have been where the hold was, and then it just breaks down. Lamander's got to scramble. He's been running for his life tonight.
Yeah, we got a hold call against St. Genevieve again.
That's going to back the Dragons up further already, 2nd down and 16. It's been a long first half, but when you score 48 combined points, 41 of those coming from one team, it ends up being a pretty long night.
Man.
Ball's
going the wrong. St. John's going the wrong way with the ball.
Yeah, ball's going to be at the 27-yard line after that 10-yard penalty. That'll make it 7 penalties for 50 yards against the home team Dragons. A 2nd and 26 from their own 27. Giesler's going to line up wide left with Brewster in the slot left. One back, and a couple more receivers on the far side of the formation. From the shotgun, Lamander takes that snap. He'll roll left this time. Brewer picks up a block in front of him, then a pump fake by Lamander, but then he's brought down to the backfield for a sack. Eventually, Valle's going to get there. Good coverage downfield. Lamander had nobody to go to.
Nope. Looked like Cody Stoll on that tackle, or stop for no gain or loss on that.
Yeah, loss of a couple there on the sack. Cody Stoll coming up big for his team. I saw Tristan Hook back there as well, the linebacker. 3rd down, 29 yards to go now for St. Gen. Is this the old handoff up the middle just to try to get field position back?
Oh, I don't know. It's got to be frustrating for Coach Weiler right now trying to figure out how to get something positive going.
One receiver off to the right side. There's the snap,
option.
an option play, and Lamander pitched it to nobody. Brewer picks it back up just to get it off the turf, and now he is shaking and baking, trying to make a play. Picks up a handful. Flag comes in. Now, Coach, Lamander probably shouldn't have tried to pitch that one.
Just trying to make something happen, I think.
Another flag on the play. This has been a penalty-marred drive for St. John, and really a penalty-marred night, but especially this drive. It's just been
hands. Valley's going to decline that and force St. John to punt, and I'm sure they're going to punt down, down this area of the field. Last time they went for it and down, 4th down, didn't get it, and, they just got too big of a deficit to make up for, so I'd imagine we'll see Lamander back in a punt formation.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 4th down and almost 30, so you have to do something here. 4th and 24 officially. Lamander to punt. He's waiting for it back inside the 20. Gets it blocked. Here comes Cole Keeley. Got a big right hand on it and swats it out of bounds. Valley will start inside the 20-yard line. On St. John's side of the field, Cole Keeley making some plays.
Again, St. John's is really having trouble getting anything to go on either side of the ball. Now special teams takes a step backwards.
ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre, Earth Mother Health Foods, County Do-It Center of St. John, Crown Collision Center in Farmington, Fleets Equipment in St. Genevieve. All fine sponsors of tonight's ball game. St. Genevieve down 41-7, and it's gotten even worse as Valley blocks a punt. Cole Keeley coming up with it, and now the ball at the 18-yard line of St. John. Valley poised to strike again. It's Wood and Rollhouse out to the right side as wide receivers. One receiver left. One back in the backfield. Here is Connor Bosler from the 18 with 5:05 to go. There's the snap. Fake to the running back. Bosler runs left, bounces it to the outside. They'll run him out of bounds. A pickup of 1 to 2 yards. Good pursuit by the St. John D. Connor Bosler's had a great night passing in, running the football. He's ran a touchdown in. He's also thrown 4 touchdown passes. 3-yard pickup. 83 yards rushing.
For momentum purposes, St. John needs to stop Valley right now. They let them go in and score, right before the half like this. It's going to be tough to come out second half.
2nd down and 7 from the 15. Shotgun snap. Bosler rolls to his right, has time. He's looking back the other way, and then he's going to just dump it out of bounds. Takes the smart play. Incomplete pass. Did a good job.
St. John had him well covered that time.
Good job getting out of the tackle box, too, there by Connor. That's only his 5th incompletion. So he's 11 of 16 unofficially for 252 yards and 4 scores.
That was simply an incompletion on purpose, or everybody was pretty well covered, so he just got rid of the ball.
3rd down and 7. Oberle and Wood out to the right. The other 3 receivers to the left with an empty backfield this time.
Well,
the flag comes in. Did we get some movement on Valley side?
No, St. John looked like St. John encroached. Yep. Encroachment on St. John. In fact, one of their D tackles jumped off sides.
3rd and 7 becomes 3rd down and 2. 8 penalties, 55 yards against the St. Dragons tonight. You can't make it easier on them.
No.
They'll make you pay, and they have tonight. Ball at the 10.
Valley's definitely doing well enough on their own. You don't need to help them.
So Valle with the white uniforms, they'll line up Lloyd to the left. He's the 5th receiver in there. 3 more receivers bunched to the left side. Twins right, empty backfield. Bosler takes the snap. He's going to run to the left. Looks like he's going to keep it. He tries to break a couple of tackles, but he'll be bottled
sweep.
up.
It looks like he's got enough for the first down.
And that looked like that play was designed particularly just to get that first down. However, flag did come in. Dowdy, they say, on the stop. Dowdy, one of the better defenders on the St. Genevieve team. Could be the best defender on the St. Gen team. They've got a lot of good ones.
But Dowdy's probably going to be one of the best linebackers in the conference this year. Real tough, hard-working kid, really hard-nosed.
And that actually goes against Valle this time. Valle's going to be backed up, so they won't pick up the first down in the play. It'll come back to 3rd down and long. They'll call it 3rd and 12 on a 10-yard holding penalty against Valle.
Is that 3rd and 10?
Just their 3rd penalty for 20 yards tonight. So 3rd down and a long 10. Shotgun snap. They'll hand it off, and then it's an option pass into the end zone, and the catch is made in the end zone. If he held on to it, no, he couldn't keep control. I love that pass play. Little handoff to the receiver coming in motion and a dump off in the end zone.
Little razzle-dazzle, made it look like a jet sweep. Instead, receiver pulled up after get his, or the back pulled up after get his hands on the ball and threw the receiver coming across field. Who was very well covered, but again, almost made an outstanding catch. It just, these kids from Valle just take turns and making remarkable plays. Very impressed with them.
Could see a 35-yard field goal attempt, with the line of scrimmage being the 18-yard line. We'll see if Coots wants to try to knock one through, or are they going to bring the second-team offense out there? Nope, it is a field goal unit on the field. Devin Coots, again, a 35-yard field goal attempt to try to make it 44-7 with 4:36 remaining. The snap is there. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's end over end, and it is good. 35-yard field goal from Coots. 44-7 Valle with 4:36 remaining before halftime. We'll take a 1-minute timeout on Kicking Country. J98 the booth.
Heisel Equipment Company is celebrating over 60 years in the construction equipment business. Sales of new Komatsu utility equipment and a large selection of late model John Deere and Komatsu equipment. Heisel Equipment is also proud to continue its competitive pricing on all makes, undercarriage, and ground engaging tools. Call Steve at 636-239-4991 at Heisel Equipment for all rubber tracks, cat teeth, cutting edges, and all brands of undercarriage. Talk to Steve or Mark for prices and installation.
Building a new home or office? Maybe it's time to do some remodeling. Call Lurk Custom Cabinets in St. Genevieve. They offer custom cabinetry for your home or office. Are you in need of new cabinets in your kitchen or bath? Or how about a beautifully crafted entertainment center or bookcase? Lurk Custom Cabinets is certified to handle all your solid surfacing, offering customized marble countertops and installation. Call today at 483-9792. Lurk Custom Cabinets is proud to be a part of the community they serve.
Logan Reinhardt with an opportunity to return this kick, and he does so to the 20-yard line up the far side of the field. But we've seen a lot of laundry tonight, and there's another yellow flag laying back at the 21 on this side of the field. Logan Reinhardt's doing his best to try to make a play, a dynamic type of play for his special teams or offense when he gets his hand on the ball. But those big plays for St. John have been few and far between tonight.
Yes, they have, and it's just, they got to get something going.
Well, St. John had their punt blocked on that last possession, so that Valle scoring drive, a 35-yard field goal, was actually a 0-yard drive. Valle did not gain any yards before kicking the field goal. They went forward, they went backwards, had some penalties mixed in there. So officially,
there are 2 penalties on that play, offsetting, I believe, Glenn. Re-kick it.
That's the case, so Valle's going to go back and kick this one again. Let's thank some more sponsors, pay the bills. Thank the fine folks who allow us to do this. Culligan Water in Ludington, Mega Sports in Farmington, Home Pools and Spas in Ludington. Go ahead, Coach. You have something?
No, it's just like I said, St. John might have cut a break there. I don't know. I couldn't see what the penalty was, being the scoreboard.
Holding on both sides.
Holding on both sides.
So Logan Reinhardt, he'll get another crack at it, see if Valle wants to kick it to him. Valle has scored on every possession. Silver lining for St. John, they forced a field goal on that last trip despite being backed up to their own 18-yard line on defense. But still a wide margin to overcome at 44-7. Still a lot of time left in the second at 4:28 now. Here's the kick from Coots, and he's got a leg. He's going to try to drill this one coffin corner, and it's going to roll in the end zone for a touchback, so the ball will be about where it would have been anyway. At the 20-yard line, St. Genevieve takes over. Valle Catholic with a 35-yard field goal in their last possession. 40-yard pass from Bosler to Rollhouse, the prior possession. 50-yard pass from Bosler to Oberle on the possession before that. That drive going 98 yards tonight. So Valle has scored from everywhere that they've had the ball on the field. That hadn't mattered, really.
Glenn, I haven't seen any weaknesses, anything, that Valle's been unsuccessful with. They
missed one extra point. That's their imperfection tonight. First down and 10 from the 20. Austin Brewer will be the lone back. Lamander is going to come under center this time. No Rhina trips to the left, one receiver right. There's the snap, and the handoff goes to Brewer. Brewer had some running room, and he will be tripped up across the 35 to the 38, 39.
16, something like that.
16 yards for Brewer on the carry. When Brewer's had running room, he's been able to show what he can do, but I think I heard the PA guy say another flag was on the field. I could be wrong. Yep, there it is.
There it is,
at the 40-yard line.
Face mask, the way it looked.
And that's going to go against Valle.
5-yard face mask against Valle.
That 16-yard pickup by Brewer puts him at 53 yards rushing on 7 carries. Rowe with 6 carries. Brewer with 7 carries tonight, so they've been pretty even with the workload. First and 10 at the 44-yard line after the 5-yard penalty against the Valle Catholic Warriors, and it's Lamander back to the line. 4 penalties, 25 yards against Valle. Here's the option zone read, and Lamander brought down in the backfield. Colin Okenfoos again. That couple-yard loss on the play. Okenfoos with that wide wingspan.
Got a big reach.
Yeah, he can grab you, and he's not letting go. It'll be second down and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Call that a negative 1-yard rush by Wyatt. He had a big 26-yard run on his first carry and hasn't done much since then. Lost a couple since that point. Second down and 11 at the 43-yard line on St. Jen's out of the field. Clock ticking in the first half with 3:37 remaining. 44-7 Valle Catholic. From the shotgun now, Lamander takes that snap, has time, throws out to the right side, and catch is made at the 50-yard line, inside the 50 on the other side
ball.
of the field.
I don't know. It looked it was Reinhardt on the reception. Well thrown ball by Lamander that time. He had a little bit more time than what he's been having the last several pass plays, and he did a good job of connecting with Reinhardt on that there.
That'll make it third down and 3 on a 9-yard completion, and it breaks a streak of 5 straight incompletions by Lamander. Third down and 3 from the 49 on Valle's side of the field. Imperative that St. Genevieve scores. To the line comes St. Gen. Giesler, Rowe, and Brewster lined up wide left. Reinhardt on the far side of the formation from the shotgun. Brewer is the running back. Lamander takes the snap. They've got the option. They'll pitch it out to Brewer. Brewer running right, cuts up the middle, first down. Flag comes into the 40-yard line, near side of the field. Angling to the 30. Brewer to the 20-yard line. Has a block to the 10, to the 5.
Giesler did a heck of a job downfield. Blocking ahead of Brewer, but I'm afraid it's going to all come back.
Yeah, well, there was 3 flags in 3 separate spots of the field where Giesler was blocking downfield. They called the flag there. 2 more flags back at the 50 and at the 45-yard line. And although Brewer took that 49 yards for the score, it's not going to stand up. One of those flags at least is going to be against St. Gen. Probably all 3. That's been the kind of night it's been.
Yes, it has. It just seems like something goes wrong or whatever. It's just going to be St. Gen. But like I said, hold against St. Genevieve.
Another.
It didn't, there was a flag down the field there. It really didn't look like Giesler's doing any hold or whatever. He was making a pretty good block ahead of Brewer downfield, which enabled Brewer to get end zone. But, again, unfortunately for St. Gen, it's all for naught as the ball comes back and going to move back 10 yards further than what it was a while ago.
10 penalties, 65 yards against St. Genevieve. It was third down and 4. Now it's third down and 12 with the ball at the 42. With 2:38 remaining. That was a great run by Brewer. He did have a little bit of help with the holds, but I'm with you. I don't think the Giesler block was – I think that was just good blocking downfield.
Yeah, they run the option play to the right side, and Brewer did a good job cutting back across the green.
And that time a good pitch by Lamander. Third down and 12. St. Gen brings it back to the line with trips left, 1 receiver right. Timeout, St. Gen Dragons. We'll take a timeout with them. 44-7, Valle Catholic. St. Genevieve trying to change that. 1 timeout left for the Dragons. We'll come back in 30 seconds on J98 The Boot.
Hey sports fans, this is Bill Best, your American Family Insurance agent. Everyone enjoys watching their favorite team make the big plays. We here at Bill Best Insurance are committed to making the plays for our customers. American Family Insurance has built its reputation on quality service and a broad range of products such as homeowners, auto, business, health, and life insurance. That's why we ensure an enduring commitment to personal service. Join the winning team at Bill Best Insurance, your American Family Insurance agent.
See Bill Bass, your American Family Insurance agent in Park Hills.
49-yard touchdown run by Brewer negated due to holding penalties against St. Genevieve. So now it's a 3rd down and 12 at St. Genevieve's 42-yard line. As the Dragons trail at home tonight, this is St. Genevieve's home opener, by the way. The score, 44-7. 2 minutes, 38 seconds remaining before halftime. And our halftime show is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. This evening, Ryan Reinheimer will have the scores and highlights from the other games. Trying to track down those highlights from the KJF game of the week between Crystal City and Kelly this evening. So, folks back at the studio, let's see if we can get those tracked down. As the score in that one, 35-13, Crystal City over Kelly in the second quarter on KJF. Central up 28-0 over Jefferson. That's at halftime. Those can be found at the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard at MIMOinfo.com. 3rd down and 12 from the 42. St. Genevieve has broken the huddle. Trips right. Lone receiver out to the near side. Low shotgun snap. Lamander rolls to the left. Has some blocks, but he's going to throw. Throws into coverage. Double coverage incomplete. Looking for Giesler. Good tip away by Tristan Hook, the linebacker in coverage.
They're making it kind of tough for St. John to throw right now. They've got 2 deep safeties and playing man coverage underneath. It's just kind of a prevent defense, so to speak. And
4th down and 12 coming up.
The distance you had, you really had no option to throw the ball.
Lamander will be back to punt. He had his last one blocked, and that turned into a Valle Catholic field goal. Look out for Cole Keeler or Colin Okenthus coming across with those long wingspans. Lamander will wait for it at the 30, and Oberly waits for it back at the 25 on his side. It's a line drive spiraling kick, and it's actually Connor Bosler who's going to let this one bounce. It takes a bounce all the way back inside the 5, and it's going to roll to the 1. Lamander has pinned Valle deep twice now.
Didn't do too good the last time, Glenn, but
well,
they got him a yard deeper the way it looks. Looks like it's going to be either on the 1 or inside the 1 right now.
The punter can only do so much. The defense has to do the rest, right? That was a good punt, just like his punt a couple of times ago, but now it's out of 98
doesn't seem to phase Valle getting backed up against their own end zone like that there. They just looks like it makes them play a little bit harder.
Is that just an attitude that they have that they're so confident that when they get backed up, it's not an issue?
It's hard to tell. Like I said, the success they've had, and so many years, the kids start playing. They've got that air of confidence about them, and
I'd be careful not to let one go behind me here if I'm St. Genevieve. Ball at the 1-yard line. There's a lot of space downfield here for Valle Catholic. Just not a whole lot of space in that backfield. One back in the backfield. Connor Bosler takes the snap. They'll hand it off. This is Tristan Hook, and he'll fall forward.
Yeah, pick up about 4 on that one.
Up to the 5-yard line. Tristan Hook's 6th carry of the night. All the rushing yardage coming through Connor Bosler, though, and then he's also produced the passing yardage. Dream teamer a year ago, and if he stays healthy, I think he'll be back on the Dream Team this year.
I think there's probably a good possibility there.
Maybe Dream Team Player of the Year if he keeps putting up these numbers.
He's very impressive. Fun to watch.
2nd down and 5. Ball at the 6-yard line. This play goes to the left side. St. Genevieve able to stop it for a short gain, maybe 2 yards up to the 8. .58 on the tackle by St. Gen. Daniel Vate. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 7. Valley's in no hurry. We're down to 90 seconds to play in this first half. Does it look to you like Coach Nagger's happy with the score and ready to go into halftime?
I think I would definitely be. He's got to be really pleased with these kids right now.
From shotgun, Connor Bosler, one single back in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Bosler's going to keep it running to the outside. He's going to try to bust this edge, and he'll try to leap over a man. He gets undercut and knocked out of bounds, short of the first.
St. Jenna did a real good job of stringing that play out right then. It just
Brewster on the tackle.
Yeah, balls are kind of ducked inside. Levi Gons was sitting there waiting for him, and he just, really gave a good indication of his speed and quickness as he really set a lot of distance between him and Levi Gons. But I forget who that was on the outside who came up and made the tackle. But The Balzer kid's very, very good football player.
4th down and short. Scoreboard says 1. It's a little bit more than that, 2 to 3 yards. And Valley's going to punt for the first time tonight. It's not a very good when it goes straight up in the air. This could be an opportunity for St. Genevieve. It angles out of bounds somewhere around the 13-yard line. Ew, that's going to be about a, 3-4 yard punt net.
Found their weakness, Glenn.
Well, they don't have to punt very often.
Probably their problem with that is it's probably the first time they punted all year and just not used to doing it.
1st down and 10, and they say it went out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So,
it's going to be a good opportunity for a momentum builder for St. Gen if they can make something happen. With the field position they got right here before they go into halftime.
8 yards net on the punt officially. So St. Genevieve will have it at the 18. That'll be the only thing Coach Nagger probably won't be happy about this first half was that punt right there. Trips right. 1 receiver left. Golden opportunity for the Dragons. Under a minute to play. There's the shotgun snap to Lamander. Drops back. Defensive ends trying to contain him. He throws out to the left. Brewer drops it. Would have been a minimal gain anyway. There was tight coverage out there as he came out of the backfield.
Little screenplay the way it looked to Brewer.
2 completions for Lamander on 9 pass attempts. 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped at 53 seconds remaining in this first half. I mean, you get this opportunity, Coach. You really have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you do. You got to make something happen before halftime. Otherwise, they make something happen here. Come out second half, they're going to get their hands on the ball as Valle took the opening kickoff, and Lamander keeps it there.
Zone read to the left side, scoots all the way to the corner of the end zone. Looks like he was able to get in on an 18-yard touchdown run. They signal he was in, and St. Genevieve able to take advantage of the bad punt by Valle Catholic. Not a whole lot of roaring on the far side of the field, so I'm thinking it might be coming back. And the Valle crowd loves that. So we've had 2 touchdowns here in this quarter called back for St. Genevieve. There was a 49-yard run by Brewer, and now this 18-yard run by Lamander. And, yes, it is going back the other way. Take the touchdown off the board. They rule hold on the play?
Yes, that's what it looked like. And I really couldn't see where the hold was. It was across the field or where it was, but regardless, it brings it back 10 yards from the spot of the infraction.
10 penalties, 75 yards. 2nd down and 10. Or 2nd down and longer than that. There's the little dump off out in the right flat. They'll go to Brewster. Brewster shakes one man out of his shoes, picks up a few yards, but then the cavalry arrives.
Valle really pursues to the ball well. Their kids are fast and quick, and they get there in a hurry to help out. Brewer might have had a chance there. It looked like he evaded that first tackle, but by the time they got away from that one, there's 2 or 3.
And a couple yards on the pickup. On the pass, 31 yards passing for Lamander. Brewster makes his first catch of the ball game. It'll be 3rd down and call it 7 from the 15-yard line with 35 seconds on the clock. Timeout right now. We'll keep it right here in the 44-7 score. St. Genevieve's best opportunity to try to make this game closer before halftime. This all coming off the heels of a 8-yard punt by Valle Catholic that went straight up in the air. But if Valle's defense could hold, boy, that put the icing on the cake of this first half that they've had. Thank a few more sponsors while we got a moment. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacies of Deloge, Fredericktown and Ironton, Auto Plaza Ford and DeSoto, America's Mattress and Recliners of Farmington, Willett Home Furnishings of Bonne Terre, and Hub's Pub and Grill, also of Bonne Terre. Remember to stay tuned for your halftime show, brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacies for the highlights of the other games that we have on regional radio tonight, the complete rundown of the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard, and scores from around the listening area tonight. That's coming up as soon as we go to break. 35 seconds remain and a big 3rd down and 7 from the 15. St. Genevieve out of the timeout. They are now down to 0 timeouts left. Valley still has 1. Shotgun snap. Option pitch. This goes to Brewer. Brewer cuts back to the middle of the field, and he'll fight for what he can. He gets up inside the 10.
Close. Going to be awful close to 1st down, but looks like it's going to be short, though.
Yard short. About a 6-yard pickup for Brewer, and I think we're going to see a 4th down and 1 coming up. Good running, though. 59 yards on the game. Clock stopped at 25 seconds. Valley crowd doesn't like that. Now it's running again down to 20. St. John again, no timeouts. On 4th down and 1, the snap to Lamander. Shakes one tackle in the backfield. Shakes another one. He's going to dive for the pylon. Far side of the field. Touchdown, Dragons. 15-yard run, Lamander, and he did it all himself. That play looked like it was going nowhere. Valley had it, I thought, contained, but he made a couple of nice little shimmy shakes to get to the end zone.
quick feet got him that touchdown and a dive there at the end.
Lamander with his first rushing touchdown of the night. So he had one called back. This one will count. St. Genevieve is able to take advantage of the bad punt by Valle Catholic. It's an 18-yard scoring drive. They'll take that. 44-13. Now for the extra point, it's Giesler to try to knock this one through. There's the snap. There's the hold. Giesler with the kick. It's a high pop-up end over end and good. 44-14. St. Genevieve makes it closer. 12 seconds remaining before halftime. Let's take a 1-minute timeout on J98.
Looking for a place you can call your favorite? Then visit Hub's Pub and Grill in Bonne Terre for affordable, fresh, well-prepared food and a friendly, laugh out loud and put your elbows on the table kind of atmosphere. Chances are your friends are already there and you should be too. Hub's Pub and Grill has indoor and outdoor seating, tons of TVs for your favorite games, live music every Saturday, and best of all, service that feels like family. Like them on Facebook or go to hubspubandgrill.com for daily specials. Your favorite new place is waiting for good times and great grub. Make it Hub's Pub and Grill.
If you are planning to build or buy a new home, or perhaps remodel your existing home, you face many decisions, not the least of which is selecting the right lender. Whether you need a fixed rate or adjustable rate mortgage, a construction or home improvement loan, by choosing New Era Bank, you will be assured you made a great decision. For quality service, low rates, and loan service locally, make that decision today. Call or stop by New Era Bank. You'll be glad you did. New Era Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
18-yard scoring drive for St. Genevieve after the bad Valle Catholic punt makes the score 44-14. 12 seconds remaining before halftime. We saw a squib kick here and another flag on the field. It's been a theme of that tonight. A lot of them going against the St. Gen Dragons. They actually blew that dead, really, so we didn't even get to see a return. 12 seconds will be put up on the clock. St. Genevieve's going to be backed up. What happened on the penalty there, Coach?
I really don't know what the penalty was. Obviously, mark off 5 yards. I guess St. Genevieve must have been offsides.
Offsides had to have been, right? So St. Genevieve will try it again. Giesler will be backed up to the 35-yard line and kick it off. I would make sure I keep it away from...
He's just going to squib kick or kick it on the ground to not allow... Now he goes ahead and kicks it deep.
Yep, right down the middle of the field. Vioxx will field it at the 18-yard line. He'll try the middle, then to the near side he goes. St. Genevieve trying to run him down, and they do. Crown collision, center collision of the game at the 30-yard line. Good job by the St. Gen special teams. If you're going to kick it deep, make sure you get back there and corral them, and that's what they did.
Bonner did a good job coming down making a tackle there. Looks like that, well, they're going to have to take a snap.
Yeah, Valle will have 5 seconds. One timeout, but that's going to be probably meaningless. My guess is they take a knee. What do you think?
Very good chance of that, I believe. It's just, I'm sure Valle's going to be very, very satisfied going in, 44-14.
21-yard line is where Valle's going to have the football, or they may just hand it off, see if they can maybe bust one. Looks like Bowser's going to come under center for the first time tonight, which tells me they probably will.
Take a knee.
Take that knee.
Yep.
Snap.
Down he goes.
There's the knee. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Halftime, 44-14. Valle Genevieve, but the Dragons did get that final score of the half. We'll see if it propels them to something big in the second half. Welcome back out to the field for the J98 game of the week tonight. St. Genevieve Dragons, Valle Catholic Warriors, and it's been all Valle Catholic, 44-14. Almost forgot that last Wyatt Lamander touchdown. 44-14 is the halftime score on J98 The Boot. We'll check the stats, brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Fast, friendly, and professional service. Repaired once, repaired right. Let's start with Valle Catholic. Receiving, Nick Oberle, 7 catches, 124 yards, and 2 of those touchdowns. Cole Wood has a 61-yard touchdown reception. Tristan Rollhouse made a fine grab in the end zone for a big 4 score. He has 2 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. And then Cole Keeley made a 20-yard grab as well. On the St. Genevieve side of things, I forgot about the rushing. Connor Bosler has 8 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. Tristan Hook, 6 carries, 22 yards and a score. Chris Lloyd had 2 carries for 8 yards. On St. Genevieve's side, Austin Brewer and Anthony Rowe have been splitting the carries for the most part with a little bit of Wyatt Lamander mixed in. Brewer has 8 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. Rowe has 6 carries, 42 yards. Wyatt Lamander, 5 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown. Lamander also 3 of 10 passing for 31 yards. His receptions coming from Luke Brewster, a 2-yard grab, Reinhardt, a 9-yard grab, and Giesler, a nice 20-yard catch. But a big stat going against St. Genevieve tonight, Coach Stolzer, 10 penalties, 75 yards.
Self when the other team's doing the damage they are, and it just it seemed like every time got something positive going on, they got a setback due to penalty. So play a little bit more intensity and try and eliminate those things and try and get something going here. St. Jen's going to receive the ball here second half, and as a coach, you look at this as a very important possession here. You got to make something happen with it if you want to be able to get back into this ball game. Valle, like I said, St. Gen has never been able to really stop them at all the first half. Again, I've been very impressed with Valle. Outstanding execution. I mean, the tempo their kids are playing with, I'm very impressed with them.
Valle Catholic Warriors will be kicking off to start the second half. St. Gen will return left to right if you're looking on J98 Web TV at myinfo.com tonight. Did we have a penalty maybe coming out of the break? Because now Valle's going to be kicking from the 45 on St. Jen's side of the field.
I don't know if there's something happened right there at the end of the half or what the deal is. There was a 15-yard penalty against St. Genevieve, though. And, we were just talking about penalties, and here before the half even starts, they're penalized 15 yards. And
not a great start to your second half, is it?
No,
Coach?
it isn't.
So now 11 penalties for 90 yards.
Unless the coach kid intentionally kicks the ball short, he's probably going to kick it deep in the end with the leg he's got.
Coots kicking from the St. Genevieve 45-yard line right now after the 15-yard penalty. He's going to boot this one. Did that go through the uprights? Pretty close.
No, it was out on the side. It's hard to tell, from up here, but
touchback either way.
Touchback. St. Gen will be started out in their own 20.
Special thanks to Ryan Reinheimer back at the studio for running down the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard for us and down those highlights during the halftime show brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. We're ready for the second half now. Third quarter. St. Gen starts at the 20 with 12 minutes put up in this third. It is a 44-14 deficit for the St. Gen Dragons, but it was St. Gen who scored last right before the break thanks to the bad punt by Valle Catholic. Set them up for an 18-yard drive. Back to work. Wyatt Lamander takes a snap, hands it off with split backs in the backfield. This one goes to Anthony Rowe, and he just picked up a couple on his 7th carry of the night. The second down at about 7. Understand we've got all kinds of scoring going on in that Hillsboro-Fredericktown game now. Greg Armbruster's very busy up in Hillsboro, so Hillsboro now stretched out the lead. We'll see if Fredericktown's been able to maybe make a comeback. Here's another handoff to the left side. Actually, Lamander kept it this time. Valle bet on it. Lamander picked up a nice chunk, close to a first down. Good fake there by Wyatt, because Valle Catholic really keyed on the running back. They'll put the ball back just short of the 30-yard line, meaning he's maybe a half a yard short of a first down. 39 yards rushing on the game for Wyatt Lamander. Yeah, less than a half a yard. Third down and 1 from the 30. St. Gen lines back up, and this has been where they've been most successful when they're in that split back veer under center. Lamander takes the snap, hands it off. Rowe stood up in the backfield.
He was stood up right at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he got enough forward lean or not to get the first down. No, it does not look like it. It looks like it's going to be 4th and very short, and I would be surprised.
Third down a couple of times tonight, and he's not an easy guy to stop in the backfield. So now on 4th and 1, St. Gen does go for it. Snap and a handoff. Lamander keeps it, and a nice move to get that first down.
Take the ball. Lamander kept it and ended up cutting upfield shortly after he faked the handoff and got first down.
Needed a half yard, picked up 3 to 4 yards. It was a good fake by Wyatt. 42 yards rushing on 7 carries. And do you agree, Coach, that this is where St. Genevieve is going to be the most successful this season and this offense right here?
It's hard to say, depending on what they're playing against or whatever. But, they've got the kids up front and the 2 real strong backs. I think they'll be able to pound it right at you. And seems like that's been
another keeper by Lamander.
Most of the success. I mean, people want to get a bunch of people in the box, stop them out, and, we'll be able to do the same thing that Lamander did just there, pick the ball inside and keep it on the outside and pick up some nice yards. He picked up only a couple, 2 or 3 on that one.
Vioxx with the tackle. It was a 2-yard pickup to the 36-yard line. So Wyatt getting more and more carries here as the second half goes along. 2nd down and 8 from the 36-yard line. Dragons' first possession of the second half. Valley Catholic punted one time in the first half, settled for a field goal another time. Those were the only 2 times they were really stopped. 2nd and 8 from the 36 with the split backs and one receiver near side. There's the snap and the rollout to the near side. He's looking to pass, stops, and then changes direction. Far side of the field he goes. They can't trip him up. Now he's just trying to get rid of the football. Shakes another man. He gets up the sideline to the 40 and ran out of bounds. A late hit, too. I think that's going to be 15 yards on Valley. That looked like a late hit, too.
It's hard to say. It looked like out of bounds more so than a late hit or whatever, but it looked like a rabbit running for his life with a bunch of coyotes chasing after him over there.
Very good comparison, I would say, and you're exactly right, because there's a lot of white jerseys back there, but he's so shifty, he's able to get around.
Foul. They tackled him out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Valley just their 5th penalty for now 40 yards on the game. Wyatt Lamander able to pick up a nice little chunky yardage, plus the penalty tacked on to the end of it.
Wyatt showed a lot of quickness eluding their tacklers then. Valley's kids are real quick up front, and he's doing a good job of scampering away from them.
9 minutes, 20 seconds left to go, and the ball is placed all the way up to the 43-yard line of Valley Catholic. So here we go. St. Genevieve starting to move it. Trips to the right, one receiver left from under center. Here's the handoff and a good push up to the 40-yard line by the running back. Pick up of 3, maybe 4 yards before Valley closes in. It was Austin Brewer on the pickup. His first carry of the second half. 63 yards rushing on 9 carries tonight. 2nd down and 6 from the Valley 39-yard line. The good thing is St. John's moving the football. The bad thing is this offense makes the clock run a little bit quicker. Trips right, one receiver left, back from the shotgun. Lamander takes the snap. He'll run the option, and he did pitch it just in time to Brewer before getting blasted. No gain on the play. Brewer is brought down. Boy, Lamander took a shot.
He took a shot. Brewer took a shot as well when he got his hands on the ball. I tell you, Valley's kids are quick defensively. They fly to the ball, and again, you've heard me say I'm impressed several times, and I'll probably say it several more times.
You're not the only one who's impressed with Valley Catholic. No gain on that play. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 39-yard line of Valley. St. John back to work from the shotgun. Wyatt Lamander, the junior quarterback, trips right, one receiver left, one back. Shotgun snap and a roll to the near side. He's passing, has an out route, but it's right through the hands of his intended target. And then Cole Wood comes up and puts a lick on Brewster, incomplete. Brewster going to be a good football player.
Hey,
I don't know if you know much about him.
Good wheels on him. Good wheels on him. He stepped in toward the end of the season for us last year as a freshman and did some nice things.
Here on KTJJ FM, Farmington Festus, Crystal City, St. Genevieve. For the J98 game of the week, Dragons going to go for it here on 4th down and 6 at the Valley 39. Why not? Down 44-14. Same formation, except they'll even it up with the receivers, twins left and twins to the right. Number 4 for the Dragons checks in. That is Brandon Hinton. He's a receiver wide right. Lamander checks the play at the line, makes sure he's on the same page with his offensive line, whispers something into his center's headset, and then turns around, hands it off, and a push up the middle. Brewer's going to get
and got the first down, Glenn.
I think he did, yes,
Good
he did.
2nd, 3rd, 4th effort by Brewer to get that. He was stopped short, but his determination got him the first down.
7-yard carry there. That was a John Riggins type of run.
Yes,
He was not going down. That was a gutsy call on 4th and 6 to do a little, look like the delay there to Brewer. First down at 10 at the 31-yard line for the St. John Dragons to convert that 4th down. Getting close to the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. They'll throw it out on a wheel route. Now, big hit in a crowd collision, center collision of the game. No doubt about that one. Overly just dislodged the football from Mr. Anthony Rowe. A little swing route out in the backfield that had no chance.
Steve, Merry Christmas. Put some toughness out of Overly kid to come up and give Rowe a shot like that. I tell you what, that's physical play.
Overly's had a great game tonight.
Yes, he is.
Haven't really had to call his name a whole lot on defense tonight, but that was a big defensive play. And then he's had a great offensive game with all the catches he's had. A couple of touchdowns. First down, or rather second down and 10 after that incompletion. Another big
on the
hit, and the
ground.
ball's on the ground. Valley Catholic looks to have recovered it, and they have. Crown Collision Center collision in the game on back-to-back plays. This time it forces a second St. John turnover. Valley football. Coming out of there, I believe, was Loida.
I don't know who made the hit to dislodge the ball or create the havoc.
Cole Keeley. Cole Keeley came out with the football.
That was another big hit.
And St. Genevieve gives it right back. A promising drive to start this third quarter, but Valle Catholic is going to take that football away. While we have a little bit of time, let's play one of those updates from Hillsboro High School with the Fredericktown Black Cats, and Greg Armbruster will report on it.
After seeing Hillsboro score the first 2 touchdowns of the second half to go up 33-14, a 38-yard rushing touchdown from Fredericktown Black Cat running back Matthew Williams, followed by an extra point made. It's now 33-21 with the Hillsboro Hawks leading in the third quarter with 5:05 still remaining.
There. So the Fredericktown Black Cats and the Hillsboro Hawks locked in a pretty good battle up there. Those updates are brought to you tonight by Myers Shoe Store in St. Genevieve, along with Ellis Battery in Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse in Fredericktown, Serve Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, and Hillsboro R3 School District in Hillsboro. After the turnover on downs, Valle runs it with Tristan Hook, but they get no yardage. Second down and 10. They'll try it again. Another big hit. Now the hits are starting to fly out there. St. Genevieve comes up with a big stop in the backfield this time. Is that 51 or 54 on the stop for the St. John Dragons? Logan Dowdy, 51.
Levi Gons made a stop in there.
So it was 54
Yeah, it was
then,
54.
so that'd be Gons, yeah.
Yep.
Dowdy also flying to the football tonight. So Tristan Hook, 2 carries there and just 1 yard in the last couple of plays. It'll be third down and 9 for the Valley Warriors. Ball at the St. John 35. Valley already on top, 44-14 with 6:20 remaining in the third quarter. Connor Bosler with an empty backfield. Shotgun snap, throws right, has his man, and he's hit immediately. And St. Genevieve able to get the stop before a first down. Good job by St. Genevieve's Brewster coming up with a big hit.
St. John's starting to play a little bit more motion out there this series. The kids are fired up, and I think they're kind of tired of getting the ball shoved down their throat all night long.
Oh, Valley's going to hurry up here. Valley's going to hurry up to the line on 4th down and 4. Maybe see if they can catch St. Genevieve napping. See if they actually go for it on 4th down and 4 from the 40-yard line. That was a 5-yard pickup by the Valle Catholic Warriors on the reception.
St. John better be careful not to jump off sides here. Nope.
And now Bosler backs up, and he can punt it. So he'll spiral it down the right sideline, not happy with his punt, and it takes a St. Genevieve bounce back to the 39-yard line. On St. John's side of the field, so St. John's defense forces another punt, and then Bosler maybe hurt his leg punting. He's kind of limping off the field. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Bosler with that last 5-yard reception, or pass completion, I should say, put him at 257 yards passing tonight. But not a great punt, and again, it's going to be St. John football with decent field position. Ball will be spotted back at the 37-yard line. Looks like we have another update from Hillsboro. So, Greg Armbruster, you've been busy tonight. What you got for us this time around?
And the Hillsboro Hawks find the end zone once again in the third quarter. This time a 49-yard touchdown run by sophomore running back Michael Keller, followed up by a 2-point conversion that extends the Hillsboro Hawks lead up to 20 points. It's now 41-21 with Hillsboro leading Fredericktown with 1:13 to go in the third quarter.
Wild game in Hillsboro.
Sounds like good.
Again, those updates brought to you by, and these Spencers are getting their money's worth. Ellis Battery in Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse in Fredericktown, Serve Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, Hillsboro R3 School District of Hillsboro. St. John offense back in the field with the first down and 10 at their own 37, 44-14 Valley, 5:28 left to go in the third quarter. Reinhardt lined up wide right now for the St. Genevieve offense. Couple of backs split in the backfield behind Lamander. It's a pitch left side row. Shakes one tackle in the backfield, gets the outside, and has a good pickup across the 45-yard line to the 46.
He picked up about 9 or 10 on that one, Glenn.
I think he's going to be about a yard short of the first down, depending exactly where they spotted it. Anthony Rose not getting a ton of carries early in the season. He had just 3 last week, although he had 2 touchdowns. And then tonight, 9 carries. Do you think that has something to do with the ACL tear?
Well, he kind of tweaked it a little bit last week. Brewer got bruised up a little bit last week, too, so neither of them had a lot of carries last week. And, fortunately, they were able to shake those things off and come back to play tonight this week.
Second down and less than a yard, but we have what looks to be an injury on the far side of the field. We'll thank some more sponsors such as Bloomsdale Bank and Bloomsdale Crystal City, Herculaneum and St. Genevieve, Comtree, Comprehensive Health Centers, YMCA of Jefferson County of Festus, Lucas Smith Chrysler Center of Festus, Twin City Toyota of Herculaneum. J98 game of the week has not been a great game. Valle Catholic showing dominance 44-14, but St. Genevieve, I think, playing better as this game has gone along. Valle is able to get their player off the field, and he'll come off. That is Curtis Meyer. He'll come off with a limp. And they'll make that necessary adjustment. Second down and 1 coming up for St. John. Would you agree, though, that the Dragons are starting to show a little bit more alive?
Yeah, it seemed like they show a little bit more spark that, that last defensive series, and,
see what
makes them
happens.
play a little bit tougher.
See what happens on second down and 1 from the 46. On the Dragons side of the field, trying to cross over into Valley territory. Quick handoff up the middle to the fullback. First down easy to the 50-yard line. Anthony Rowe on the carry. 4-yard pickup for the Dragons. Move those chains. Ball right at midfield, just short of the 50-yard line, so still technically on the St. Genevieve side of things. 5.8 yards per carry tonight for Anthony Rowe. First down and 10 from the 50, and a stoppage. Timeout, Valle Catholic. Timeouts are brought to you by Culligan Water in Ludington. For better water for everyone in your home, say, hey, Culligan man today. Culligan, better water, pure and simple. Culligan Water in Ludington, 431-3016. It's a great chance to see what's happening in Hillsboro. Greg Armbruster has yet another update for us for that Hillsboro-Fredericktown game. Greg, take it away.
The Hillsboro Hawks back in the end zone once again. A mistake by the young quarterback for the Fredericktown Blackcats. Cody Smith throws his second interception of the night. Bo Thompson picks him off this time. Sets up a short yardage situation for the Hillsboro Hawks on the Fredericktown 12. And this time, Trey Terry, a 12-yard touchdown run, his second score of the night. He's already over 125 yards on the evening on 7 touches. The Hillsboro Hawks lead 47-21 with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Thank you very much, Greg Armbruster. Again, updates coming your way tonight, courtesy of Ellis Battery in Fredericktown and Arnold, Olympic Steakhouse of Fredericktown, Serve Pro of Hillsboro and Festus, and the Hillsboro R3 School District of Hillsboro. St. Genevieve with a first down at their own 49. Ball spotted right between the 49 and 50, so officially call it the 50-yard line. 4:52 remaining in the third quarter, down 44-14 to Valle Catholic at home. Here's a pitch to Anthony Rowe. Anthony Rowe bounces left. Good little cut, but brought down for a loss of a yard. Good pursuit by that Valle defense. So hard to set an edge against Valle Catholic. Their defensive ends really do a good job.
Yeah, their whole team, like I said, they got some outstanding speed on the defensive side of the ball. It seems like every time the whistle's blown, they've got all 11 of the white shirts right there at it. And, just as impressive on the defensive side of the ball as they are on the offensive side of it.
Check of the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Perryville with a big lead over St. Pius, 49-7. Perryville's at home tonight against the Lancers. Second down and 11 from the 49. A pitch hits the turf. Valley's going to fall on it, and the Warriors have taken it away for the third time tonight. Looked like Brewer tried to pick it up when he should have fallen out of himself. Not only is it a turnover, but it's a big loss, too.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a sweep, and anyhow, just kind of an errant pitch back to Brewer, and he tried to get his hands on it and slipped, and next thing, Valle had possession of the ball.
And the Dragons have been moving the football in the second half. Problem is they're not holding on to the football. They didn't have a big turnover issue in the first half, but now 3 total for the game. And Valle Catholic, blood in the water, their offense back on the field. Deep in St. John territory, because that pitch lost about 10 to 15 yards, plus the recovery by Valle. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Warriors will spread it out. Bosler remains the quarterback with 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Snap and a draw play, handoff. This goes to Tristan Hook. Hook gets inside the 35-yard line to about the 33 for a pickup of 3 or 4 yards. Tristan Hook with 9 carries for 26 yards this evening. First and 10, or second down and 10. Second down and 7.
6, 7.
Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The scoreboard hasn't changed yet, but I'm going to call it about 7 yards. Trips right, 1 receiver left. Counter Bosler. Barks out the signals, takes the snap, another handoff. This one goes to Hook. Hook is roped down in the backfield. Logan
Good play by
Dowdy.
Dowdy.
That's a great play by him, a linebacker. He's got a nose for the football.
He does. Like I said earlier tonight, a real tough, hard-nosed football player, kind of a heart of the defense.
Loss of 2 on the play for Tristan Hook. Hook hasn't had a whole lot of success running the football tonight, as a matter of fact. 10 carries for 24 yards this evening. He's had a few positive plays and some negative plays. Valle Catholic's going to have another third down unless we see a penalty on the play. Looks like the officials have slowed things down. Sideline warning. Valle Catholic's going to be forced to step back. No penalty, though. Third down and long, 3rd and 9. The Warriors can strike from anywhere. The ball's at the 33. Trips right, one receiver left. Bosler from shotgun. Snap. Takes the handoff. It's a play-action pass. Bosler's throwing deep down the left side. One-on-one coverage. Reinhardt had it but lost it. Would have been an interception.
Reinhardt's good coverage. Logan went up to get the ball and kind of went right through his hands.
You know, Reinhardt's receiver has, I don't want to say beaten them a couple of times tonight, but, you know, maybe won the jump ball battle against them. But coverage-wise, he's been there. He's in position.
He's been right there.
Going to make it 4th down. Ball officially at the 35-yard line of St. Genevieve. The Warriors will send the offense on the field, but again, Bosler has that option to punt if he wants to, but this is a pretty good spot in the field where you could go for it.
Field position. 4th down territory here.
3 receivers stacked to the right side. Bosler rolls out to his right, steps up, throws the middle of the field. This ball's intercepted. Brandon Henson on the return to the 20. Gets to the outside, tripped up with a good open field tackle at the 25, and he got knocked out of bounds, and that ball came loose, but came loose late. So it will be St. Gen football. Bosler throws his first interception of the season. A rare mistake by Connor Bosler. He let one go over the middle and did not see Brandon Henson lurking back there, a junior. Made a good play on the football. Valle turns it over for the first time tonight.
Rooney, so need to hang on to it this time.
Under 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, and nobody has scored between these two teams in the second half so far. Scoring pace, which was just wild in the first half, has slowed to a stop in quarter number 3. Pitch near side Brewer. He's got some blocks. Lamander's one of those blocks out in front, and he's going to spring him for a nice gain up to the 38-yard line, 39 or so, about a 10-yard pickup for Austin Brewer. He's been their most successful runner tonight. Why not ride him? 13 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown for Austin. Move those chains, Dragons. First down.
Hook needs to come off the field. He lost his helmet, so he's going to have to come off for a play.
Is that play designed for Lamander to roll out and block for him, or is he just doing that on his own?
Yeah, you know, you encourage him to block. A lot of times your quarterback won't stick his nose in there, but you know, White does a good job at that. Once he tosses the ball off, he gets in front of what we call a sweep.
First down and 10. There's the snap, and they'll hand it off to the first man through. Nowhere to go, though. Valle Catholic closing it down. Loida with the tackle. Due to those Valle interior defensive linemen, able to back that one up a little bit. No gain on the play. Brewer and Rowe getting the bulk of the carries in the second half. Lamander has had one touchdown tonight. It was a 15-yard run in the first half. Second down and 10 after that. No gain on that last play. Looks like Wyatt Hahn is in the backfield for the first time this evening. He's the split back to the right. They fake to him and then give it off to the other running back, and a carry up to the near side of the field. Brewer, man, he just does not go down easy. If you want to tackle him, you better bring more than one guy. Another 4-yard pickup, maybe 5 yards on the play, setting up third down and manageable. Vayat's on the tackle. Brewer having a good night, up to 90 yards now on the game, but the clock ticking away on the third quarter. Have we reached the point for St. Genevieve to where you're now just kind of playing for next week, playing for positive momentum at this point?
I'm trying to get the ball. I realize, I think that it's going to be tough to make up the deficit or whatever. Just keep they're trying to keep the ball away from them, get something established, and
3rd down and 5, and a play-action pass. Lamander steps up, has a man wide open
back
down the left crease, and he's gone. This is Austin Brewer, and he's going to trot from the 20. 5 touchdown, St. Genevieve Dragons, 57 yards. Lamander throws his first touchdown pass of the night. Brewer got alone down the left side. Something got messed up there for Valle on defense.
Well, I think it just, I think St. Genevieve kind of took a page out or did what Valle's been doing all night and ran a well-executed play. They ran a few, running plays there, and it looked like they were going to be content keeping the ball on the ground there, and it was just kind of a little throwback to Brewer. Fake the play to the right and pull back to the left, and Brewer did a good job of holding that one in and taking her the distance.
He was wide open. Lamander just had to put it on him, and he sure did. So we're going to await the extra point now from Giesler, or maybe St. Genevieve's going to go for 2. At this point, why not?
Going for 2, yep.
Yeah, they will. So split backs, Rowe and Brewer in the backfield. Reinhardt lined up wide right. Ball's at the 3. There's the snap. They will hand it off to the fullback. Fullback pushing toward the end zone. It's good. 2-point conversion. Valle ripped the ball out. Vyax has it in his hands, but they ruled he was in first. 2-point conversion is going to stand up. Did they give that to Rowe?
No, it was Brewer, I believe.
Brewer?
Carry.
44-22. So now St. Genevieve is down by 22 points with 48 seconds still left to go in the 3rd quarter. Good job for the Dragons to punch that in. It was a 57-yard touchdown pass. And we'll break for 1 minute on Kickin' Country, J98 The Boot.
Dr. Clint Woke at St. Genevieve Vision Care offers professional, personal, quality family eye care at affordable prices. In fact, the service is absolutely unbeatable on contact lens, excellent frame selection, and LASIK co-management. Most insurance policies are accepted. To make an appointment with St. Genevieve Vision Care, call 573-883-5665. Highway 32 in St. Genevieve, right next to the St. Genevieve Community Center.
Creative Touch Awards and Gifts on Highway 32 in St. Genevieve is the place to go for your silk screen, embroidery, trophies, and awards. If you need that personalized gift that is sure to be one of a kind, or you need to honor and acknowledge a special person, go to Creative Touch Awards and Gifts with 9 years of experience. Just west of Fleet's Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve. 573-883-3846. 573-883-3846.
Well, so much for trying to play for next week. The St. Genevieve Dragons trying to make a game out of this. Now down by 3 scores at 44-22. 48 seconds still left in the 3rd. There'll be a kickoff out of bounds, and Valle's going to start at the 35-yard line, more than likely. But, we were just talking about, hey, maybe we play for next week. Well, now it's a 3-score game. If you get a stop here and get another score, you're right back in this thing.
Yeah.
And really, you're in it right now as long as you play some good defense.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be real important for St. Gen to make something happen defensively here, and and it's going to be something important for Valle to do the same thing on their side of the ball, make something happen. This here's going to be a big series of downs right here.
Interception on the last drive halted Valle Catholic, so Valle's going to try to hold on to it this time. Nice
tackle.
Stand up by the linebacker for St. Genevieve.
That was probably
Logan Dowdy.
Yep, Dowdy.
Carl Loida stopped in the backfield for a negative gain, loss of a yard. Another Crown Collision Center collision of the game. Logan Dowdy's starting to make his impact on this game, Coach.
Yes, he is. Like I said, it just saw somebody come flying up, make a collision, and I'm very familiar with what Logan's able to do, and sure enough, it was 51 when they got up off the pile.
I said Carl Loida, but it was Chris Loida on that run, the negative 1 yard. Here's another quick hitter out to the right side. Valle gets close to moving the chains. It's a completed pass out to the right, a little bit short of a first down. Connor Bosler going right back to work, getting that ball out of his hands quickly. And they hit, I don't know if it was Loida or Vyax on the far side of the field. I want to say Vyax. Is that number 1 who caught that ball? I think it was.
I didn't see who it was. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Vyax on the catch. 10-yard reception, but still short of the first down. Connor Bosler up to 262 yards passing on 20 attempts this evening. Valle will have a 3rd down and 1 when we come back to start the 4th quarter. 44-22, Warriors on top of the St. Gen Dragons. We're back in a minute on the boot.
Farmers Mutual Insurance Company in St. Genevieve has been serving families in the area for over 115 years. Whether you need insurance on your home, mobile home, farm, or where you rent, Farmers Mutual Insurance Company can help. That's Farmers Mutual Insurance Company on St. Genevieve Drive in St. Genevieve. Call for a competitive quote at 883-3520. That's 883-3520. Farmers Mutual Insurance in St. Genevieve, a hometown company with hometown values. Need a new metal roof, a pole barn? JW Buildings in St. Genevieve is a full-line metal installer and distributor. Residential, roofing, barn sheds, call JW Buildings. With over 15 years experience and direct buying power, you save the most money with JW Buildings. JW Buildings also offers lumber packages and free quotes on everything. They are installing metal and shingle roofing on business and residential. That's JW Buildings, quality, affordable, and portable, all in one stop. JW Buildings, off Highway 32 on Highway B in St. Genevieve.
They change sides of the field to start the fourth quarter. The Valle Catholic Warriors have a critical 3rd down and 1, ball at the 44-yard line.
Hook kind of got his hand on the ball and tucked his head. Looked like he ran into a wall. I don't know if that was Dowdy or who he hit in there, but he still got enough for the first down.
Yeah, they went ahead and moved the chains on that. Yeah. So 1st down and 10. And the ball will be at the 45-yard line. And Valle Catholic is able to convert. There's the snap, and they will quickly hand it off to Tristan Hook. Spins off of a tackle and gets 1st down, a yard. It's big hit on the end of it, but an 11-yard pickup.
Tough run by Hook on that play.
That's his best run of the night. And that was Bosler leaving that ball in there as long as possible before deciding whether he wants to pull it out or leave it. And he left it in there, Hook, but Hook's shaking up on the play.
Tristan Hook might have a little cramping issue out there the way he's sitting and not trying to get up.
We have our first final of the night tonight. Actually, we have a couple of finals on the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard at MyMoInfo.com. Potosi has beaten Pacific. Trojans celebrating their home opener tonight, 27-7. That's the final score. The other final that I saw was East Prairie over Grandview. That was in Hillsboro tonight. East Prairie won 48-12. There's a final between Rockwood Summit and Seckman. Rockwood winning 52-7 there. And a final between Lutheran South and Herculaneum, 42-0. Lutheran South leading the Herculaneum Blackcats. Tristan Hook is able to come off, and Valle dealt with injuries to the running backs all last year. Still went on to win the championship. By the end of the state championship game, they were going, I think, on running back number 5. Actually, they went empty, and that was going to be their option. Was going empty backfield, and if they need to do that, they can do it. There's the snap. They'll hand it off to Loida this time. Loida, one jump cut, picks up a nice gain right up the gut. Inside 40.
Take one out and put another one in and continue the success.
Plug and play, right? So that ball went from the 47 to the 40, or the 36. And a little less than that, about a 7 to 8 yard pickup by Chris Loida on his 4th carry of the night. They'll call it 2nd down and a short 4 with over 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes remaining in this game. St. Genevieve cannot afford to give up a score here. 4 receivers wide. Twins left, twins right. Here's Loida. St. Genevieve able to set the edge this time on defense, plus a flag came out. Loida didn't pick anything up on the carry running left.
Dragon strung that one out pretty good. Played line of scrimmage.
While they sort out the flag, we will thank Twin City Toyota, Herculaneum, Lowry Law Firm Hillsboro, Jefferson College of Hillsboro, Roto-Rooter of Bonne Terre, Presbyterian Manor of Farmington, Rejays, Seamless Guttering and Siding in Park Hills, holding on Valle Catholic. And St. John's going to accept to make it 2nd and long instead of 3rd and short. Probably the right call there.
I think it's going to be about 2nd and 16, 17 yards.
6 penalties, 50 yards against Valle Catholic tonight. So they haven't been perfect.
It's going to be important. St. John, if they can hold them right there, they should get decent field position if they can force a punt.
2nd and 16, they'll call it from the 49 on St. John's side of the field. Shotgun, snap, play, action. Bosler steps up, pumps, then throws over the into traffic. Ball knocked away. An incomplete. Reinhardt making the coverage.
Reinhardt made a heck of a play there.
What a play by Reinhardt. He's done a great job tonight. He was looking for his target, Tristan Rollhouse, who's already made one great grab tonight.
He said, I was afraid, or it almost looked like it was going to go through Reinhardt's hands into the Valle receiver's hands, but he got enough of it to knock it away.
Has Bosler not been as sharp in the second half, or has St. Genevieve adjusted and done better job covering?
I think they just did a better job covering. You know, that wasn't a real overthrown or underthrown pass. It was just St. John made a pretty decent play. Reinhardt made a good play on that ball.
You still got to bow up on 3rd down, though. 3rd down and 16. You can't let up if you're the Dragons. Trips right, one receiver left. Shotgun snap to Bosler. Here comes the blitz. It's a screen over the middle. Rollhouse has room to run. Up the middle, first down. Has one man to beat, and he can't beat him. But it is a first down inside the 20.
Well executed play.
33, 34 yards on the pickup by Rollhouse, and St. Genevieve got the free rush because of the screen, and Bosler able to dump it off back in behind him. Another hurt Valle Catholic Warrior, though. Rollhouse has made some plays tonight, 79 yards receiving on 3 catches. 296 yards passing on the night for Connor Bosler. And we check the injury for Valle Catholic. Anything you can see down there? Whether it be a legit injury or a cramping issue?
I don't know the way they're looking at him. It may be somebody's down. It looks like it may be a cramping issue, too, getting this late in the ball game. A lot of Valley's kids, as many of them they got going both ways or whatever.
Coach, I don't know how many times I've seen Valle Catholic backed up in a tough situation and then still converted.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so hard. You cannot let up.
Just like it doesn't affect them at all. It's just like, well, we just got that much further to go. Let's go ahead and get it back. It looked like it was a cramping issue.
It is Rollhouse who was hurt, so he's coming off. You know, Valle using maybe some of St. Genevieve's aggressiveness against them right there, dumping that screen off behind the rush.
Like you said, again, you know, it seemed like anytime Valley's successful doing something, you look at the play, and it's just very, very well execution.
29 minutes past 9 o'clock tonight in the J98 game of the week. So that was a huge first down by Valle Catholic on 3rd down and long. If it punts this one in, you can pretty much count this as a win for the Valle Catholic Warriors with 10:22 remaining. Snap, handoff, Hook. Hook has a hole, running to the left side, picks up nice yardage up inside the 10-yard line.
Tristan Hook really hits a hole quick. The linemen are giving him a little seam, and, man, he's taking advantage of it.
That's a 6 or 7 yard pickup for Tristan Hook. Call it a 6-yard gain for Tristan. He's up to 41 yards rushing. Valle really spreading it out. 3 different runners have carried the ball. 5 different receivers have caught the ball. 2nd down and 4 from the 10, just inside the 10. Trips right. Single receiver left. Hook is the lone back, flanking Bosler to his right. Clock ticking, play clock down to 5 seconds. Bosler milking it for all it's worth. Snap, handoff, Hook. Hook shakes one tackle, up the middle he goes. He gets tripped up inside the 5 this time. That will move the chains, make it 1st down and goal. Valle Catholic. Is that read play there for Bosler? He's got that option to leave it in the hands of Hook or keep it.
It looked like it. I was kind of isolating some of their linemen, watching the job they're doing.
1st and goal from the 4. Now Valle Catholic goes into stall mode. They'll milk the play clock for all it's worth. We'll be closer to 9 minutes to go before they snap this one from the 4-yard line. Valle trying to put 50 points up on St. Gen tonight. Shotgun snap is a high one. Give off to Hook. Hook trying to punch through the middle, but he'd be closed down this time before he can get there. 2nd down and goal from around the 2-yard line.
Looks like the last couple of plays they've been trying to run behind the big Scabs kid, and he's doing a real good job up front for him.
Valle going to make a substitution along the line. Coming off will be Carl Lloyda. Coming in will be Jacob Friend. Coach Stolzer talking about plug and play for Valle Catholic. That's just another example right there. I have no doubt Friend will do just as good a job. Valle Catholic trying to get the play call in from the sideline, but again, there's no need to rush. St. Genevieve still kicking themselves. They allowed the 3rd down and 16 on the screenplay to get behind them. By the time we're going to get to the line, we're going to have to call timeout here for Valle.
Yeah.
This will be their 2nd charge timeout. They'll have 1 left. 44-22 is the lead for the Warriors, and we'll have a 2nd down and goal from about the 2-yard line when we come back. 8:28 remaining. We're back in a minute on J98.
Hi, this is Brad Smith at Lucas Smith Chrysler Center. Lucas Smith Chrysler is more than just your local Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep dealer. We sell and service to the entire Jefferson County area. So while you're listening to this sports broadcast, no matter if it's the Tigers, the Hornets, the Blue Jays, the Lancers, the Dragons, or the Hawks, remember, we are and we support the entire Jefferson County area and its sports teams. We are Lucas Smith Chrysler Center off Highway A in Festus, your home with a no bull deal.
Home of the no bull deal. Lucas Smith Chrysler. No bull.
Building a new home or office, maybe it's time to do some remodeling. Call Lurk Custom Cabinets in St. Genevieve. They offer custom cabinetry for your home or office. Are you in need of new cabinets in your kitchen or bath? Or how about a beautifully crafted entertainment center or bookcase? Lurk Custom Cabinets is certified to handle all your solid surfacing, offering customized marble countertops and installation. Call today at 483-9792. Lurk Custom Cabinets is proud to be a part of the community they serve.
Second and goal from the 2. There's the snap. There's the handoff, pushing the pile toward the end zone. But nope, he's not going to get there. Tristan Hook stood up again. St. Genevieve's D-line trying to stand tough. They need to make one more stand here toward the end of this game to have any remote chance. Valle, they'll probably kick a field goal if it came down to it. That was on second down. Now it's going to be third down and goal from about the 1-yard line. Coots has already nailed a 35-yard field goal tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Valle go for it on fourth down should they come to that. Right now it's third down and goal from the 1. Valle spreads it out with twins right. One receiver left. Shotgun snap. Handoff. Hook. Hook cuts right toward the end zone. We'll wait for the call.
Yep, he's in.
Touchdown, Valle. That's going to put this one away for sure. 50-22 with 7:46 remaining. Nice little jump cut for a Hook. You don't want to be playing around back there in the backfield. Get upfield, north-south, and that's what he did.
Well, they didn't get excited or anything like that. They just get nickel diamond things. Ran to one big screen play to get them down inside the red zone there, and kind of nickel dime things, and end up getting the ball in the end zone that third down.
Well, that was the big play on the drive, was the third down and 16, and the big pickup on the pass play on the screen play. Tristan Rollhouse, it was a 34-yard pass and catch. Hillsboro is really stretch it out against Fredericktown now in the J98 update game. Here's the extra point from Coots, and it's up and it's down the middle. 51-22, 7:46 remaining. So our final update in that one will be the final score, but I can't tell you what the score is right now between Fredericktown and Hillsboro. Hillsboro was up big last check, 53-28, that game in the fourth quarter. So one more update to come from that one when Armbruster wraps it all up for us with the J98 update game of the week. Valle has now put this one out of reach, 51-22 over St. Gen, 7:46 remaining in the fourth. We'll come back in 30 seconds on the boot.
Whether your project involves new construction, expansion, or remodeling and upgrading on an existing home or business, you need the professionalism and experience of Michael McDonald, owner of M&L Electric LLC in St. Genevieve. Estimates are free and 24-hour emergency service offered as well. No matter the job size, commercial or residential, call M&L Electric LLC at 573-883-7298 or 883-6428. M&L Electric LLC, because your electrical needs matter.
Back at the home of the Dragons, I like to call it the Dragons' Lair, but Valle Catholic has invaded that lair tonight and has put up a 51 spot on St. Genevieve. 51-22, 7:46 remaining in the ball game. It was a 1-yard touchdown run by Hook, capping off another scoring drive brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. The kickoff from Coots is angling toward the far side of the field, splits the returners, but then picked up all the way back to the 5-yard line by Reinhardt. He'll try the near side of the field, breaks a couple of tackles across the 20, and gets a 17-yard return to the 22-yard line. St. Gen starts there. 2 scoring drives for St. Genevieve. Actually, it was 2 drives and 2 fumbles. Then the next 2, they scored right before half and then again after the 2 fumbles. Yeah. So they got it back to a 3-score game, but Valle's just been too much on offense.
Right, kind of too much on defense as well. It just,
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, although certain St. Gen's kind of been, kind of the own worst enemy the second half. They're putting the ball on the ground. Valle recovered in 2 fumbles they lost.
I tell you what, though, at least in the regular season, St. Gen may be the only team that puts up 22 points on Valle Catholic. Yes, I don't think that's too bold of a prediction.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Split backs for the St. Gen Dragons with 7:39 remaining. Snap and a pass. Dropping straight back, Lamander steps out of the rush and runs up the middle. Now cuts to the near side. Gets a block. Oh, they'll call a flag on it. They'll call it a block in the back. It was more in the side, but I think that one's coming back.
That's a tough call. It looks like it was Brewster making the block on the perimeter there.
I mean, it was right in front of us over here, so we could see it pretty well. I guess the officials saw it a little better than we did, but it was close. Could have gone either way. No doubt it's going to be a block in the back. It's going to go against St. Gen. That'll be their 12th penalty of the night, Coach. Ideally you wouldn't want to have any penalties, but was there a number that you set we needed to have less than this many penalties?
No, I mean, I'm sure Coach White talked to him Monday and then probably last Friday about the game. We've got to eliminate those things. You can't hurt yourself, especially playing against a good team like this. Set yourself back like that. It's just tough to make those things up.
Spot of the foul penalty, so it puts the ball back inside the 20-yard line and a first down and 14. Here's a run to the right side and a blow-up hit by 56 of Valle Catholic. Ooh. Valle Warriors stopping that one before it could get started.
We got a youngster in the game, Wyatt Hollins, in the backfield now for St. Genevieve.
It was Kurtz on the tackle. Skaggs helped corral him as well. Wyatt Hahn went nowhere on the play. Coach White told me to look out for Wyatt Hahn this year. You know much about Wyatt?
Well, he's just one of these good. Again, last year we brought him up in the varsity toward the end of the season, and we made some plays. I don't know what that penalty was.
Looked like it was a personal foul against the Valle Catholic Warriors, so that'll negate a loss on the play by Wyatt Hahn. Valle continues to commit some penalties. They're 7th for 65 yards. First down, St. Genevieve. Ball at the 35-yard line now. Snap, and they will hand it off right side. New face in the game is their number 4. He takes it to the right side, up close to the 50-yard line. Nice run.
Anthony Rowe's little brother, Cameron.
Camden Rowe.
Cameron scored a touchdown last week late in the ball game against Dexter, and real quick youngster.
So Rowe runs it from the 35 up to the 49, 14-yard pickup. So the Rowe brothers getting in the same game. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Ball at the 49, still on St. Jen's side of the field. Camden is a sophomore, 5'7". Split backs again. Under center. There's a snap and a pitch near side.
Rowe again.
It is Camden Rowe across the 50 and dives forward to the 48, opposite side of the field. 3-yard pickup for Camden Rowe. Now, Rowe and Hahn are the backs right now, but Lamander remains the quarterback. This will be 3 straight wins in the series for Valle Catholic over St. Genevieve, and it'll extend the all-time lead now, 27-25. But there was a run from somewhere in the 90s up until the early 2000s, between 2000 and 2010, where St. Genevieve was winning this thing every single year. Straight drop back to pass. Lamander has a little bit of time, steps up, throws a spiral deep left side, but throws it out of bounds. Incomplete.
Almost looked like the way he was backpedaling and Valle bearing down, almost looked like that was supposed to have been a screenplay, but I didn't see any linemen going downfield, or at least in their defensive guys.
Good heads-up play by Lamander just to clear that football right there and get it out of there. He was looking for a ring down the left side. Skylar incomplete, out of bounds. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball near midfield at the Valle 48-yard line. With 6:04 remaining, brought to you by TG Missouri and Perryville, Nicholson Heating and Cooling of Farmington, and Midwest Sports Center of Farmington. St. John trying to convert a 3rd down 51-22. Under center, Lamander takes the snap, hands it off, and a lunge forward to the 45-yard line. 3-yard pickup. That went back to Camden Rowe, but still 4th down and short coming up. 3 carries, 20 yards for Camden Rowe. 5 different ball carriers have carried it for St. John tonight. 4th down and 4 with under 6 minutes to play. What can you take out of this if you're St. John? Any positives?
It's going to be one of those deals where you watch the film and see what you're doing right. I think the big wrong thing about tonight for St. John has been the execution on Valley's side. I hate to continue to repeat that, but, there's a good football team. I don't think it was so much what St. Genevieve hasn't done. It's just more so what Valle has done. Like I said, very impressed with them. I'm sure Coach White and the staff are very impressed with what they've done, and Coach Nager's got to be very proud of the performance that these kids have given tonight.
Rowe on 4th down, runs it up the middle, but is stopped before he can get the first down, so it will be a turnover on downs. The St. Genevieve Dragons will turn the ball over to Valle Catholic, and I would imagine we'll see some Valle backups in there on offense with a 51-22 lead. I think that's going to be the case. Run down the rest of our sponsors. We had a lot of them. We always do for this ball game. It's a popular one. Brad Wooten Auto Body of Ironton, Kettle Huts Barbecue of Festus, Jimmy John's in Farmington, all sponsoring tonight's ball game and the old settlement rivalry between St. Genevieve and Valle Catholic. Valle with 3 straight wins now, though, over the Dragons. Last year it was 34-7 Valley. The year before that it was a great game. That was Anthony Rowe's coming out party, if I remember correctly, here in St. Genevieve at the home of the Dragons, 36-28. St. Gen last one, 33-14 at Valley in 2012. First down and 10 at the 43. Valley Catholic has a new quarterback back there, and there's a snap and a handoff. Viox nearly broke it for the touchdown. He got tripped up after he picked up the first down.
Somebody got him by his ankle.
It is Keegan. Nope. Mason Skaggs, 5'11", 165-pound sophomore. You know, we hear it all the time. Valley's able to, and you know, we're getting late in the game now, but usually Valley's able to blow teams out first half. Starters are out, backups come in. That is a huge advantage. How big is that?
Oh, it's very big. I mean, these kids getting varsity experience as freshmen and sophomores, and they know what it's like to get out there in a varsity ball game. And you know, you're getting 3 or 4 experience years out of a kid, instead of 1 or 2 in the varsity level. And
Viox picks up a couple more here on this first down play, running right up the middle.
Bunch more subs in.
Yeah, here they come. They're going to come in bunches right now. The Valley crowd is going to stand up and applaud as some of the starters and even some of the second stringers come off as the clock ticks with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Take a look at the Nicholson Heating and Cooling scoreboard one more time. Run down, see if we have any more finals. Again, these will be found all night and all week, all season at MIMOinfo.com. Crystal City on KJEP is winning 57-20 over Kelly. It is Farmington over North County, 34-6. That is a final score tonight on AM 800. KREI flag comes in as the play runs left for the Valley backups here with 4 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. Some other scores. Central has defeated Jefferson 43-0. Tosi over Pacific 27-7. 56-7. Perryville, a big win over St. Pius. It was 40-21. Christian Academy over Festus. That was a final. In the fourth quarter, last check, St. Charles led Windsor 49-28. East Prairie beat Grandview tonight 48-12. Rockwood Summit over Seckman 52-7. Fox over Riverview Gardens 27-12 in the fourth quarter. Marquette defeated Northwest 42-0. Bishop DeVerg in a tight win over DeSoto 21-14. Last check was the third quarter. Lutheran South beat Herculaneum tonight 42-0. Scott City last check in the fourth quarter led 27-6 over St. Vincent. Second down and 8 from the, call it third down and 2 from the 37-yard line. Second down and 2, they say. Snap and a handoff up the middle and first down yardage for the Valley backup running back. Again, it is Mason Skaggs as the quarterback, and they're in relief of Connor Bosler, who had himself a night tonight. You want to stay tuned for the end of the game when we announce our play of the game. We'll do that following the final whistle here. We had some big ones for Valley Catholic in that first half, and a lot of them to choose from.
Way too many to choose from, Glenn. That'd be tough. Glad you're doing it, not me.
I think we're going to narrow it down to 2. You had the big Oberly 50-yard pass on 4th down and 5. That was huge at the time. Then there was also just a great grab made in the end zone, or near the end zone, by Tristan Rollhouse in that first half. So that's what it's going to come down to. We'll find out shortly which play it is, brought to you by Unico Bank. We got a second down and 7 now for Valley Catholic. And, again, they'll get to the line. They'll wait till about 3 seconds on the play clock and then go from there. You know, St. Genevieve's always a test early on for Valley in their schedule. And then they get into conference play, and there's not a whole lot of teams in their conference that can test them as Skaggs runs to the right side after a nice fake to his running back. Gets to the outside on the defense to the 20 and just tripped up inside the 20. Nice play by that St. Genevieve secondary man, Ring, to track him down.
That was a heck of a fake by the Skaggs to get a quarterback. The St. Gen kids were busy tackling the back that he faked to, and next thing you know, he's over in the near sideline here running up the field, picking up probably, 20, 30 yards on that carry?
Yeah, right around there. So first down and 10 from the 12. And it went from the 37, so a 25-yard pickup on the play. And Valley goes right back to work. But what I was saying is there going to be anybody on their regular season schedule, maybe West Rand next week, that's going to give Valley a test?
I don't know how West Rand is this year.
I know they're 1-1, or they're 0-1 coming into tonight.
Well, again, the Valley continues to play like they did tonight. I don't foresee anybody beating them.
Well, West Rand was the number 2 team in the state last year, and Valley put up 73 points on them on that neutral site game. They combined for 100 points that night.
Barring any injuries, they continue to play, and, they're going to get better each week. I don't foresee anybody beating or touching these guys.
And it's so strange to say that in week 2 of the season.
Yeah, it
but
is.
that's how good Valle looks.
Well, I mean, like I said, very impressive. I don't care if it's week 2 or week 10. Again, I hate to keep using the same word, but their execution has been pretty flawless. The confidence of those kids doing the jobs up front and their skill positions, it's, again, very impressed with the job those kids have done tonight.
Hand off to the right side. It's going nowhere. St. Genevieve with the defensive line unit doing a good job stringing it out, making Valle pursue to the sideline. It was Camden Rowe on the carry. So we get to see the future of Valle Catholic and the future of St. Genevieve on the field in the final couple of minutes. We also have that final update coming in from the Hillsboro-Fredericktown game. No surprise after checking the scores earlier that Hillsboro has held on to win. Fredericktown, though, got off to a very good start in the game. Hillsboro, though, ends up putting up 50-plus points against the Black Cats. Greg Armbruster will break it down here very shortly. 95 seconds remaining in this one. Snap and a handoff. Bounce out to the left side. Again, not much running room as they bring him down for just a couple of yards on the play. Carrying it for the Warriors, Cody Stoll, 5'6", 135-pound junior. It's like, Coach, you guys have, I don't know, a bunch of families. I was going to give you a number, 10, 15 families over here that continue to produce amazing athletes.
Same names within the same family relation or whatever.
It's pretty astonishing.
Yeah, I think you'll find that in any area you got Tosi, you'll find the same names continually on the programs over there, and I've seen that, basically anywhere you go throughout the years, whether it be from Jefferson County or you go further south.
In a show of sportsmanship here on 4th down and 2, Valle Catholic's going to take a knee and go ahead and turn it over on down to the St. Genevieve Dragons. I mean, they were inside the 10. They could have went ahead and tried for the touchdown there, and they took the knee. Skaggs is going to come off the field. I think both sides like to see that. So St. Jen's going to get that ball back for one final possession with 44 seconds remaining. Your end zone show coming up with all the scores from around the listening area and interviews with the coaches. And Coach Stolzer, it's going to be a little strange this year not to hear your voice on the end zone show.
I can call in on Friday night and let you know how things are going, man. Hopefully I'll be able to call you in and give you some better reports from Dragon Nation over here. But, like I said, St. Gen kids, it's going to be a disappointing loss for them. Of course, either both sides, do not like to come out on the losing end of this thing here, but they don't have anything to hang their heads about. They're beaten by a very good football team tonight, and, it's just going to be a matter of shake it off and get back to work come Monday and get ready for the Lamander next week.
Well, play of the game is going to be tough enough to name. Who would you put up for player of the game in this one? I mean, I'm thinking Connor Bosler, but you're the experienced one here, so what do you think?
Valley's got a lot of weapons. Like I said, their backs did a good job. The receivers did a good job catching the ball. Of course, the quarterback's done a good job both running the ball and passing the ball. It's just, it'd be tough.
Connor Bosler up near 300 yards passing tonight with 4 touchdowns. Nick Oberle was his prime target with a couple of touchdowns and 129 yards receiving. Tristan Rollhouse made a few great plays. Cole Wood had a 61-yard touchdown, but I think you got to give it to Connor Bosler tonight.
Yeah, without him, those guys are going to be catching the ball. I mean, he throws the ball extremely well. They had a couple of real good catches out of those kids, but if he's not doing what he does in the backfield like they're running the show, those things aren't going to happen.
Checking those stats brought to you tonight by ProCare Automotive Repair and Bond Tear. Fast, friendly, and professional service. Repaired once, repaired right. So the St. Gen Dragons with 44 seconds remaining. Bring the backups on the field. Snap, handoff up the middle. Nowhere to go. The new quarterback for St. Genevieve is 13, Gabe Grimminger, 5'7", 132-pound sophomore. That'll put us under 40 seconds to play. We might get one more play, and that's going to spell the end of this one. So St. Genevieve unable to start their season 2-0. They go down to Dexter and win 42-7, and then the shoes on the other foot this week against the crosstown rival. One more play for St. Genevieve, and this game's going to come to an end. There's a 2-second differential play clock to game clock, and Dragons are going to take a knee with Grimminger, and that's going to do it. We welcome in our other 2 radio stations right for the final play of this game, 1400 KJFF and also AM 800 KREI. If you just joined us, you're hearing that St. Genevieve has fallen tonight at home to the Valle Catholic Warriors. The final score was 51-22.